Hi, friends. Welcome in on a happy little Wednesday. Nice to have you along with us, the firm of Harris and Meringue. I am Patrick Harris. That is Danny Meringue. To my left, Jeff Rust back in the house. The band is back together.
How could you ever king of your console?
What?
You're over here lording over us and I.
That's how we're doing it today.
I think your
A
chair
new-
is a
a new
foot and a
attack.
half higher than mine.
A new attack.
Stuff out here.
Trying to say, I can't do it.
That's
There we go.
usually
That's a
I have
little
to.
better. That's a little better.
Usually I have to put this the camera down a little bit for you because you sit so low.
Oh.
No, because you sit so low in the chair. Because you sit so low in the chair.
I take it back. I'm not happy you're here.
Happy's here. Thanks, Russ. Missed you.
The band is back together. I'm happy to have us all back together. It's nice to be here.
Good to be home.
I have some wonderful news to share with you.
Mm.
I am officially going to be attending USC at Oregon this weekend.
Hey, I think the majority of this office will be down there this weekend.
I officially am headed down. A good friend of mine hit me up, was like, we got a place to stay on Friday. We're driving back on Saturday. You don't have to drive.
You heard magic words, you don't have to drive, and you're like, I'm in. Whatever you say,
Yep,
I'm in.
They got tickets, a place to stay on Friday, so I'm getting picked up on Friday. We're staying in Junction City. Anybody with some tidbits on Junction City, what to do, what kind of nightlife on a Friday night might be in Junction City? That would be very appreciative.
I have a feeling one Josh Wilcox could help fill you in.
There you go.
Yeah, why is that? I missed
Isn't
the
that where
joke
they're
here.
from?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from Junction
The
City.
Wilcoxes are from
The Wilcoxi? Yeah.
Wilcoxi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody? Either of you guys been to Junction City?
Yeah. I can't remember. When I was a kid, my dad had a customer there. I went with him on a trip down there once. Don't remember much.
You got nothing?
I mean, I think maybe once, but not like on purpose. I don't know, passing through.
Yeah.
What have you?
It's usually
Yeah.
a lot of passing through.
Or heading out to try to find a store or a mall or.
But it's
something.
like off the freeway, right?
I believe so.
Mm.
I'm not terribly familiar with the area down there.
Well, I'm cool. I'm excited. I've never
Either
been to
way,
Junction City.
you're not driving.
I'm not driving.
Those are wonderful words to hear.
I told.
You want to go? You're not driving.
And I have extra tickets and a place to stay.
So that has been my experience going to Onsen. I have never driven myself to a Ducks game. I have either been in a bus, which we did a couple years ago, and then another time, 10 years ago. And then every other time I've had buddies who were like, hey, man, I'm going down. Do you want to go? Sure. I'll kick in for gas, buy food, whatever, do all the things.
Yeah.
But I've never driven down there. And I went and talked to Dusty, and I was like, hey, where the hell do I park?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't spend time in Eugene. I don't know it that well. And so I was just like, what time do I need to leave? How long is it going to take me? I know traffic's going to get crazy. Please, if you're going down there, go down early for college game day.
I don't think I'm going to go down that early, though.
Well, I mean, you don't really have a choice in this matter.
No.
But I'm saying the majority of you, go down early. Get down there. Be there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, being a part of game day is really cool. Guilty as charged here. The time they came to Pullman, I absolutely loved it. The interesting tidbit is the last time I was at Eugene, Oregon beat the Huskies. Troy Dye got the touchdown in overtime. Kind of a big deal. I don't think they had beaten the Huskies in a little bit. It was kind of in the downtimes. And Oregon Ducks pulled it off and beat the Huskies, and that was a big turnaround. I wonder if the opposite will happen this time. Am I a good luck charm for the fates of a program turning the corner? Because USC hasn't won down there in a long time.
No.
So
Well,
am I USC's good luck charm?
I mean, we really haven't been that good, so.
Am I USC's good luck charm this time around?
Well, I mean.
Or am I Oregon's good luck charm that any time I'm in the building?
And really root for Oregon, because everything that you like seems to crumble.
Oh, really?
I mean,
that's not a very nice thing to say.
Well, I'm just saying, like, how many things have you like, I think this is my team now. I think this is the thing that I like. This is the team that I want to win. And how many times have they lost just this year alone?
All my sports teams suck.
Just saying. Do me that favor. Do me that solid.
As much as
hop on that Oregon bandwagon for me.
Pull the curtain back a little bit. When I was when the Pac-12 existed, I was very much not a fan of the old University of Oregon fan base. Talked a lot of S. One time we beat them 5 years in a row. Called that a full recruiting cycle with red shirts. So we talked a lot of S. If Marcus Mariota wasn't a Heisman Trophy winner, they'd have lost that year too. But I think he won the Heisman against Wazoo that year.
Pretty good.
But now that we live in a world where Washington State and Oregon do not play the same sport, I think it is fair to say that what we call football and what the Ducks call football are very, very different games. So now, I don't really care as much anymore. The hatred is kind of just dissipated. It's kind of just gone. And now I just watch college football for fun. I don't know if I have it in me to root for either team. I don't think I can do it.
You'll root for the Ducks. I know
I
you
don't
will.
think so.
I think you will.
I'll be with Duck fans. My friends are Duck kids, and they'll be going for it. So, like, if a great play happens and they want to give me a high five, I'm going to give them a high five, but I'm not going to be like, whoa, we got it. Go us.
You will.
I will not.
You will.
I will not.
You will fold.
There's a better chance I fire a gun this weekend than root for the Ducks.
You
I'm not going to root. I'm going to go and watch the game for funsies.
You're going to go down there and be as rigid as a wet blanket.
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't decided if I'm going to wear Wazoo gear or not.
See, that's how I know. You haven't even decided.
I haven't decided.
Yeah.
I haven't decided.
Which means you're going to be neutral and go Duck.
But I am going down. No, I don't think
You
I'll
will.
do that.
You're
I'm
gonna
going to go. I hope everybody has a good time.
Oh, God, I hate you.
I'm going to be that guy. I hope everybody makes nice with each other
I don't want that.
and everybody meets new lifelong friends. I hope some college kid meets their future wife this weekend. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I will watch it burn.
I want to watch it burn. That's what I want to watch. I want to go down there, enjoy a good time with really good people I love, and watch USC stomp a mud hole into that Oregon team.
Yeah, I wonder what the...
Look, you want to... What's... Bachelor number one, what's your idea of a perfect weekend? USC absolutely obliterating Oregon in front of everybody and me going, on the way out.
I wonder what I'm going to do during the tailgate scene. Probably just wander. I don't
There
know
you
if
go.
my buddy's got a tailgate spot.
Oh, yeah.
So
How does one get a tailgate spot? Because it feels like it almost
think
has to be like bequeathed to you.
No, I think you like rent. You like pay for a parking pass.
I know,
That's
but, like-
basically it.
But I mean, like,
Oh, like how you get your spot. all
your
the time?
spot all the time. You know what I mean?
don't
Like,
know.
it feels like it's something that's like generational.
Yeah, I don't know because when
It's like
I was
season tickets for the Packers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't just take a spot, right? Like you set up in the same spot, you rituals and all the things that kind of come along with that.
You know John, who lives in Springfield. He parks next to you every single week.
Yeah, and you-
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know-
only know him from there.
Yeah,
you don't see
but,
him any other time.
You know that, hey man, John has some homemade like veal that he brings every
Yeah.
game, and it's
His
something.
wife makes a cheese dip that will blow your
Yeah,
mind.
like you know what I mean. Like there's
Martha.
everybody's got their little things that Maria over here makes the best cookies you've ever had in your entire life. I don't care if you don't like macadamia nuts or you're allergic to them. Try them because they're
It's
the best
worth-
cookie. It's worth the EpiPen.
It's worth anaphylactic shock.
Yeah, it's that like you know what I mean. All the stuff that comes out of that. Like how does one get bequeathed that spot? Like
Yeah.
does somebody die and you're like, okay, well John's dead now. We have to figure out who's in his spot.
I'm not really sure because, like, when I was in school, like the stadium's on campus in Pullman, and so I lived, a 20-minute walk to the stadium. So there was no
Uphill smoking a cigarette.
like in the snow both
Uh-huh.
ways. Actually, you do walk uphill both ways in that town. To get from my house to the stadium, you will walk up a hill to walk down a hill,
To walk
and
back
on the
up.
way back, you
Yeah.
will walk up a hill to walk down a hill.
Mm.
So we just walked and then walked to the parking lot and like met people and drank with them in there.
Sure.
So I have no idea how that gets set up.
I've tailgated before, but I've never like been a part of tailgate culture.
No, me neither.
Because you don't tailgate NBA games.
You could. That'd
mean-
be cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be cool, but where?
Tailgate at jam band concerts.
Yeah, see, not my thing.
They definitely tailgate.
But NFL games, like I haven't been to an NFL game in a decade.
The only time I ever tailgated at like Husky Stadium, I was in a different spot every time.
Yeah.
It was just like my buddies were like, "We're in lot 6B. Come
Mm.
say hi." I don't know how that
Well, I
works.
mean, if you're the road team, then yeah, it's a little bit different. But like, I don't know. I guess because I've lived up here or lived around the world so much, like I haven't had a chance to like lock into tailgate culture.
I'd like to though.
It'd be fun.
It's the only thing that stinks about my alma mater being 5.5 hours away. It's
Oh.
like, ugh.
Mine's 15.
Oh, fair. Fair.
Oh,
They got a tailgate scene?
Yeah, I mean, well, back in the day, it was rough.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like you don't again. If you've ever been to the Coliseum, you don't go up 2 blocks north of the Coliseum. It used to be don't go north of the Coliseum. We've pushed out 2 blocks. There's a demarcation,
What's this Wii stuff?
the demilitarized zone. It's rough, but the gentrification has done wonders around the stadium. So there's
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's really nice now.
People tailgate now?
Yeah, it's a lot nicer.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's not a little bad little deal. And you can't do it like at a Dodger game because that Chavez Ravine getting in and out of is just a complete and utter hellscape.
I'm gonna have to figure out my beverage situation, how I'm
Hmm.
gonna pack things in and pack things out. Do they have metal detectors at Autzen Stadium? I asked this about Reeser.
I think they do.
Because when I
Yes, they do. I remember going through them USC when Caleb came to town.
I poured some frozen Fireball in my flask, and it was icy cold because it's
Ooh.
metal.
There you go.
And I enjoyed that.
You're gonna have to go plastic, but also they're a clear bag only stadium too.
Well, I don't carry bags.
I'm just saying, if you have a bag, they're a clear bag stadium. I want to go see if I can grab some of those. The backpack chairs.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can scoop some of those up.
Why do you need a backpack chair?
Because where we sit is the bleachers. Our seats are like they're up close, but they're the bleacher seats.
Oh, you want the little pad cushion to
Well,
sit on for your
and-
little tush?
Well, not just that, like keep the butt warm, but also like a little back support.
A little back support? Well, I'm going to be standing the whole time cheering my face off.
My back is already a little twingy right now,
No,
so
I'm not going to do that.
big dummy yesterday decided to ego lift and pull something in his back. So
That was silly.
yeah, it was real dumb.
That was
Zach
silly.
on the YouTube chat saying no metal detectors.
Booyah.
Oh well, we definitely had them for the USC game. I remember going through them.
This weekend is coming up Millhouse like no one's business
go.
for me. Oakley Duckley, we got a show for you today.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Don't lie to me.
A lot of great stuff to get to. ESPN personalities and gambling situations. Not vetting out the proper channels when signing
Oh.
up for marketing. We got that to get to. A quarterback might be on the move in college football, already making that case known. And is it time for one coach to give it up? We'll have web gems as always. We'll touch in on the Blazers and the big nooner, some NFL. We'll just dance around the whole place. But we'll spend the first hour talking USC Oregon. We'll have Tyson Alger on at 10:30, as we always do, to kind of put a little bow on Minnesota game, but mostly get into the big matchup this weekend. When we come back, if you are Oregon, what style of play do you want to play? And if you are USC, what style are you looking for? We'll go there first. 105.1 The Fan. We'll have Tyson Alger on in about 30 minutes, or 10 minutes, excuse me. But it's 10:18 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it, baby. We are live in the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. It's 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. Nightlife in the JC, that's cute. What to do in Junction City? Do you like beef jerky and practicing shooting beer cans with your 22?
Yes.
Danny is like, yes, I do, actually.
Go on.
Only if it's the beef jerky that comes in the little chew cans.
You say? You say?
It's full on what Starship Troopers. Do you want to know more? And I'm like, yes, I do. I do want to know more.
No metal detectors at Autzen. Flask and vape can get in, no problem. I live 7 miles outside of JC. They roll up the sidewalks at 9 p.m. Best off going to Eugene for a Friday night.
I mean,
It's like 20 minutes, though, dude.
I will tell you though.
My buddy's sober, so we might.
There's
There's some cool bars in Eugene.
I will just say this though, as it pertains to small town anywhere. Small town's gonna have a really good night.
Oh, yeah.
You can get into some really, 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 and I'm not talking like Pullman small. I'm talking like Junction City small.
Yeah.
When you find a good small town, you can get into some good, all natural trouble.
My buddy just texted me, and he was like, there's really only, like, really gross dive bars, so you'll probably not want to be there. And it's like, you underestimate my love
Yeah, I don't
of
think
a
you know me
great
that well,
dive
then.
bar. Look, man, I will drink cans of Rainier and bad whiskey all night if you want me to.
When I was in West
I
Texas,
got no shame for that.
the number of times we ended up out at a creek or a lake
Down at the crick.
with a tire swing and the boombox, the lights turned on, campfire, and just had a grand old time were endless. I also made the very poor decision one time. I will do a lot of things for very little money. You can turn that into a drop. Perfect. What's that rum? Parrot Bay? The
Yes.
super sugary
Yep,
rum.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Parrot Bay.
I looked at a buddy of mine. I pound that whole fifth. It's $50 says you can't do it. Watch me.
That's a poor choice, dude.
Oh, dude, I have never felt sicker from drinking alcohol than that. But I tilted that whole thing up, pounded that
Not
whole
to
thing.
mention, coconut rum is gross.
Gross.
Well, I mean,
Suntan lotion, alcohol. No
that's basically what it
thanks.
was, and it went down like that. So, but yeah, no, I had so many good times. Again, a lot of beef jerky and or chew, and guns and cans that were out to be found around out there.
The world wants to know if you are going to get drunk and pull your hamstring again.
No, I am driving down there. So that number one, I don't really drink like that. The trip for USC when Caleb was there was because we took the bus because it was an occasion. You had a Heisman quarterback coming in. It's all the juice. All the clients wanted to go down and all that kind of stuff too. But that was an all day occasion. We stopped in Tualatin, had breakfast, and I had
Bushwhackers.
no, not Bushwhackers, but right
Isn't
around
that the country bar down there?
Oh yeah, the Bush, man. Come on now, it's a good time. But there's a restaurant right around the corner that changed into something. I can't remember what it was, but I had like a pitcher of mimosas, maybe more. It was a lot, and then a nice hearty breakfast, and then I don't know 7 or 8 seltzers because I'd had them before, but I never had like a bunch of them. Those things just go down like water.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh okay. And then I probably had 7 or 8 mixed drinks at the bar that we were at before I walked down there. And that was, I think, the farthest I had walked continually or been on my feet like during the day post hip surgery. And my hamstrings just quite literally weren't used to it, especially standing up the game. And I just ended up pulling it very, very, very badly and to where the point where it was black and blue.
And you didn't come to work for a week.
It wasn't a week. It was like 2 days.
I was told it was a week.
It was like 2 days.
I was told a week.
I couldn't drive. It was my right leg.
Plus 250 on you getting drunk enough to walk into a door.
I could do that stone cold sober. What are we talking about
I
here?
seen it.
Yeah.
I seen it.
Hopefully USC fills that A gap like that.
Going to be a very interesting game. We'll continue to talk about this as kick is at 12:30. You can catch all the action right here on the Fan Sports Network. Like we always do. Pregame will start at 10 with Andy Dirt Johnson, Anthony Newman, and Dusty Hara down there live in Eugene. Poke by and check out the morning show.
Whoa.
What?
12:30 kick. Our pregame starts at 8 o'clock.
Oh, right. You're right.
Mm.
Our pregame starts at 8. Thank you for that correction.
And then we will hand it over to network coverage at 10:30.
Thank
you
you
go.
for that. I'm going to try to go down and say hello to those guys in the pregame show because I like what they do. I think that pregame show is very, very good.
I will go by and torment them in head to toe, Cardinal and gold.
I'm sure you will. But when I'm thinking about this game, walking into it, look, USC and Oregon play very different types of football right now. And I think that makes for real fun. We kind of chatted the other day about you've got one of the top offenses in the country facing one of the top defenses in the country. You know, I kind of spun it on its head, and I'm a little more interested in the Oregon offense versus the
USC defense.
USC defense. But it kind of got me to thinking, like, if you're Oregon, what style of play do you want? You want to stick to the run game, correct?
Yes.
You want to slow this game down.
You don't want to
play a little Iowa Big Ten
Yeah.
football and slow it down and
take the
control.
Notre Dame game plan. That's what you want to do.
Because I think the thing you really don't want to get into, and I'm excited to ask Tyson Alger about this, I think one of the things that is scary to get into is I don't think you want to get into a shootout. Now, for me as a casual, non-affiliated observer of this game, I'd be very interested in a shootout, and not because of high scoring and it makes it on the line, but I'd like to see Dante Moore in a shootout, if I'm being honest with you. I know Jaden Mayava can do it.
Yes.
I know he can do that, and he's got the weapons to do it. I'd be interested just for, like, film study, case study, to see how Dante reacts if, in fact, it does turn into a shootout. I don't think it will,
No.
personally.
The line is 55. I think the score that I called for a USC win would probably be like 30-23. That's where I think it goes. But if it does get above 55, that's because both Mayava and Dante Moore are out there cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, Oregon's probably going to win this game. I have no illusions about that. But I don't think that you're just going to stop USC's offense. I don't think that's happening anyway.
I don't think so either. That leads me, like, if USC would prefer a shootout and Oregon would prefer a slowed down run game, which team is more equipped to do the other?
I think they both are.
Yeah.
That's the reality. I think they
It's kind
both
of like flipping that,
Yeah.
high octane offense, high octane defense. Well, let me see the other side.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of where I'm thinking here. Like, can USC slow the game down and run the football the entire time? I think they can. I don't think they want to.
No, I don't think they want
But I
to.
think they can. Can Oregon turn the up tempo on and start slanging the rock?
Mhm.
I think so.
Mhm.
But honestly, have we really seen it? Because even in their blowout wins, that's just efficient offense.
Yeah.
That's not
Their-
high
their-
tempo,
Their explosives are coming from.
despite the national narrative thinking that
Yeah.
they're explosive still.
Well, they are.
Not
but they're-
explosive, but like high octane Chip
Yes.
Kelly style. They're not that.
They're
anymore.
not that. Their explosives come from really good run blocking. That's where their big plays come from. They lead the nation in explosive run plays.
Mhm.
Like that's where they make their money. They spring those massive runs. I think they had, what was it, something like 50, 56 now explosive runs. I think is that where they're at. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's where they ended up coming into this game. But I mean, they get like 5 a game.
Mhm.
You know,
And you got
big-
3 different guys that can do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, then if all it takes is one Kenyon Sadiq play to over the top, or one Gary Bryant Jr. or Malik Benson, like one of those guys, and all of a sudden now you're on your heels and you're guessing. I'm going to ask Tyson about this, but I want to kind of primer you with this one.
Shoot.
USC and Oregon only have 2 common opponents, Northwestern and Iowa.
Okay.
Oregon beat Northwestern 34-14.
Correct.
They beat Iowa 18-16.
And that 14 is kind of in the back end for
Okay.
Northwestern.
But, okay, USC beat Northwestern. Where'd it go? 38-17. And Iowa 26-21.
Very similar.
Very, very, very similar scores. Different games.
Yeah, my pushback would be, and before, I don't mean to cut you off, my pushback would be Northwestern was kind of in that game for a little bit
They had a couple.
against USC.
Well, they were in it in the first half, and then they were
and
non-existent.
then they were non-existent. But they were pretty non-existent for 3.5 quarters against Oregon.
Yes, but with Northwestern, it was their scores. The early score was a broken run, that hell of a play by Komalafe. He broke a massive cutback run and just took it to the house. It was like, oh, where'd that come from? Other than that, Northwestern didn't really do anything in that game.
So you're trying to you're making the case that these teams
in their common opponents,
Yeah.
it's been different games. Oregon has limited their opponents more defensively. USC has scored a little bit more while giving up a little bit more. And that's why I just kind of look at that because we don't really have many strings to pull on as far as like
Sure.
comparisons. And so I look at that and I go, is this game maybe closer than we think it is? Because, again, I was talking to a bunch of Duck fans that cover the Blazers last night, and every single one of them said 9.5 is a stupid line. It should not be 9.5.
It is really tough.
9.5 just feels like too much.
I know I'm not a gambler, so I know I wouldn't touch any spread. But this is a game for a gambling purpose, I wouldn't touch it. I have no idea where to go. Because
it got bet up 10.5. It's back down to 9.5.
I foresee this being a close game and USC wins or a Duck blowout.
Okay.
Like, I don't see USC blowing out.
I don't
Oregon.
either.
I think Oregon can win a close, tight game.
Mhm.
I don't see USC blowing them out. That would shock me.
The over-under line is still 55.5. So that hasn't moved.
55.5. That's not very high.
As I said, 30-23, that's 53 points right there.
Well,
So
30-23 could be possible.
yeah, that's
That's 7, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I think this way. You want to go? You want to say 31-24? Okay, like I think that's kind of what you're dealing with. But if USC is held to 24 points, that will be you just tip your cap to Oregon at that point.
Coming in on the text line, something that is worth saying is that Oregon was on the road for both of those games, and SC was at home.
Yeah.
So that could be if you're looking for a tiebreaker, so
Sure.
to say. I'd probably lean the Ducks on that.
Oh yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting that both those
Sure.
those scores were relatively close.
When you're looking at common opponents,
Yeah.
yeah, especially in the Big Ten where everybody's new to this situation. We don't quite know how it goes. All right, let's get to Tyson Alger. He'll come on next. He joins us every Wednesday at 10:30. We'll put a small little bow on the Minnesota game from Friday, but then really spend some time looking at this USC game. We'll get his thoughts next. But first, we'll toss to Rusty with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, following their 42-13 win over Minnesota, the Oregon Ducks move up one spot in the latest college football playoff rankings, now number 7. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Georgia would have first-round byes. Oregon hosts number 15 USC on Saturday. The Trailblazers have lost 3 straight, 6 of their last 8. They host the Bulls tonight before embarking on a 3-game road trip. The Blazers are 6-8, currently 9th in the Western Conference. It's a 7 o'clock tip on 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. The Blazers are 2.5-point underdogs. ESPN has tonight's national doubleheader from Cleveland at 4 o'clock. The Cavaliers, 1.5-point dogs, hosting Kevin Durant and the Rockets. And the nightcap in Dallas at 6:30. Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks, 7.5-point dogs hosting the Knicks. Over in the NFL, the Falcons announced quarterback Michael Penix Jr. suffered a partially torn ACL Sunday against the Panthers and will need season-ending surgery. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski announced Shedeur Sanders will start Sunday against the Raiders. Dylan Gabriel suffered a concussion in Sunday's loss to the Ravens and remains in the league's concussion protocol. And New Orleans football reports the Saints releasing former Beaver wide receiver Brandon Cooks. He'll become a free agent if he goes unclaimed on waivers. Cooks 19 catches for 165 yards and no scores on the season. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, leading up to the game this weekend as Oregon will take on USC. We are joined by our friend Tyson Alger, as we always are on Wednesdays at 10:30. Tyson, good morning to you. How was your extended weekend? You didn't have to cover a game on Saturday.
Yeah, I spent my Saturday doing something completely different. I went to Providence Park and watched a football game. I went to my Montana Grizzlies were in town, and it was fun to watch football in the city. It was nice to have to not go out to Hillsboro to watch the Vikings play as well.
Now, is there a tailgate scene outside of Providence Park? Because we as Timbers fans know there really isn't, but there's tons of bars everywhere. Can you create a college football tailgating scene outside Providence?
It's a little tough. I think the bar's got a fair amount of business, but they kind of had like a makeshift tailgate thing set up within the stadium. So it was fun. It wasn't packed. I think there was maybe like 6,500, 7,000 or so people there. There was a lot of Montana fans. Grizz have a big game coming up this week. If you guys want to dive into that, but
should have been game day. Should have been game day, dude.
Should have been game day. Should have been. It's too cold for them out there.
Yeah, McAfee don't like his shirt off when it's that cold. Let's put.
I was just going to say, I'm hoping they keep their shirts on this Saturday this time. So.
Let's put a little bit of bow on the Minnesota game from Friday. Ducks win 42-13. Not a whole lot to take from it, I guess, but I'm still curious any of your thoughts on it. It was nice to see Kenyon Sadiq come back healthy and have a monster game and how important he can be to that offense. Maybe I'll ask you, without DeCorian Moore and Gary Bryant Jr., what did you see from that wide receiver core on Minnesota? Is it a way of we played Minnesota and got away with it, or, hey, this depth is really coming in handy?
I think you're seeing the depth is coming in pretty handy. I mean, one of those guys is relatively experienced in Malik Benson and, his past career at Florida State and Alabama before that. But, that toe-tapping touchdown that Jeremiah McClellan had, you're not doing that if you're not talented. It was a great throw from Dante, but just some of the kind of the talent that you see there and the depth. I mean, this is a team that's been recruiting really well at the position for the last 3 or 4 years under Dan Lanning. But I think we've gotten so enamored with the transfer portal that you kind of forget about kind of the 4-star guys that are on the roster. And I know the Ducks are pretty depleted at the position with some of those injuries, but it was just nice to see some of those guys have the opportunity to step up. And then, what a difference it makes when you have a healthy Kenyon Sadiq in the lineup, too. I know Dante was kind of saying he overthrew that one a little bit. He said the visor was affecting his depth perception. A 27 to 30 day, I guess it was really, really hurting him. But it was just funny to see Sadiq make that diving catch, because that's kind of what hurt him a few weeks back, was just kind of coming down hard on his hip from one of those. And so to see Kenyon make that catch and then afterwards say, that's the best I felt in a very long time, that's a really good sign for the Ducks.
Tyson, all right. Harris and I were talking about this before we had you on. As kind of a preview for USC Oregon. USC and Oregon only have 2 common opponents, Northwestern and Iowa. They were played very differently, but the outcomes ended up being nearly identical. 1-score game between USC and Iowa down in L.A., handling Northwestern. Both scores are relatively similar, with USC scoring a little bit more but giving up a little bit more. Oregon not scoring quite as much, but holding those teams down a little bit more. When you look at those, because there's so few strings to kind of pull on and look at the comparisons between these two teams, because they don't have those common opponents because of the way the scheduling is. When you look at those games, is there anything that you take from them and those common opponents and go, this is a little bit interesting, or does it not matter at all?
Well, what I remember about that USC Northwestern game is that was quite the game until basically that pick six was called back in the second quarter, and that kind of swung all the momentum going into halftime. I might have the exact timing of that wrong, but I was sitting at my hotel bar in Iowa the night before the Hawkeyes Ducks game and watching that, and Twitter for that hot minute was like, oh, the Trojans are in trouble here. And so ultimately they played a pretty strong second half, and that ended up being a pretty convincing win. But I just think that what Oregon does with its defensive consistency just throughout the season, maybe save the Indiana game or so, has just been so impressive. And I think that's just been a little bit more consistent than what you've seen throughout the year with USC. I think USC is kind of very boom or bust, especially with its offense. I mean, like, they can put up a ton of points, but they can also give up a lot of yards too. So, they've both beat some decent teams, but like this is kind of their Super Bowl of the seasons. And so, like, this is, I was talking to a couple people yesterday, and I can't remember the last time being 10 games into a season and still like wondering like how good this Oregon team is, because it's just kind of one of those years where they pass some tests and then you just find out later that test wasn't all that hard. So it's an odd one.
He's Tyson Alger, joins us every single Wednesday. The I-5 corridor, Lookout, Eugene, Springfield is where you can find his stuff at. Something that I noticed that during the Minnesota game that wasn't really talked a whole lot about on the broadcast, but I'm curious how it looks future-wise and if it was for a reason. You saw some offensive lines swapping around, that maybe if they felt a little weaker on the right side, move some guys around and sacrifice maybe on a left, but have a more solid front five right there. Is that something that you think was more curated for the Minnesota game, or is that looking ahead to USC, who does have some nice guys on their defensive line?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, they're trying to be a little bit more flexible on the line, and they've also been dealing with some injuries too. Harkey missed the Iowa game. He came back for this one, but then it was Janoris Wilson who played so well instead of Harkey in Iowa, and then he missed this one too. So I think it's, a little bit of showing some different looks, a little bit of just kind of getting guys snaps at different positions too. Just as you get into this late in the year and guys are banged up, you're going to need people to be able to play multiple. And so I think the Ducks are just showing their depth there. But it was really impressive just the way, not only that they kept Dante upright in that game, but just week in and week out, they're so good in their run blocking too. Like, I know the Ducks only had 197 yards in this game, which was yet another game where the Ducks bested their opponent in rushing yards. But it's just some of the timely yards that they get, and then just the way that these Oregon running backs rush too. We've talked about Jordan Davidson so much this year, but I'm still watching replays of that Noah Whittington run and wondering how he got out of those 7 tackles there.
He's Tyson Alger. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll chat a little more about USC. I'm going to ask you the department that the Ducks need the most focus on if they're going to win this game. And are you more interested in the offense versus defense of one team or the offense versus defense of the other team? Tyson Alger joins us. One more segment here. We'll take a break. 105.1 The Fan. We are joined by Tyson Alger, the I-5 corridor. Lookout Eugene Springfield, as we always are on Wednesdays, and we appreciate you hanging around for a double seggy, Tyson. We always do. Real quick, coming into the USC game, I know Dan holds it to the vest real close. Do we have any idea about Gary Bryant Jr. or DeCorian Moore?
I think we will find out on Saturday.
That's just how this is going to go. Look, Belichick ruined it for all of us, didn't he? Is that where we point this all back to?
Well, why would I talk about an injury? We got a game done. That's a really bad Belichick impression brought to you by Tyson Alger of the I-5 Corridor. And look out, Eugene Springfield. Subscribe today, ladies and gentlemen.
Tyson, let's dive into this game. We've been talking a little bit about, you've got a high-octane USC offense, ranks, top 5 in the nation. You've got a high-octane Oregon's defense, top 5 in the nation. Is that the battle that you sit with in this? How does this top offense deal with the defense? Or do you live in my world that kind of flips that on its head and says, what does Oregon's offense do against USC's defense?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at a little bit with it too, because I think Oregon's weakness is better than USC's weakness. I just think Oregon's offense is, when you look at it, I mean, it's fun to throw out how good USC is with their attack and how explosive they are, but Oregon's still number 11 in the country in total offense right now. Like, they've been pretty good a lot of the year. It's just that we really focus in on the games that they're not, and also take into account that they played the last month under monsoon-like conditions. USC is going to move the ball against the Ducks. Oregon has one of the best passing defenses in the country, but they just haven't seen receivers like USC has. They have one of the absolute best guys in the country, and the number 2 and number 3 guys are pretty darn good as well. So I think USC is going to move the ball. I think it's about limiting the amount of those explosive plays you get. But I think the biggest positive for me going into this game is just seeing how balanced that the Ducks looked on offense last week against Minnesota. And I know Minnesota's not this big bad juggernaut of a Big Ten team, but they're not a terrible defensive team. And just Dante Moore's efficiency in that game, kind of bouncing back from a bad 2 or 3 weeks, but to see him in decent conditions when he got good protection, when it's dry out, to have him be that effective with that depleted receiving core balanced with that rushing attack. I just don't think USC is going to be able to stop Oregon's offense as much as Oregon's going to be able to stop USC's. It's just USC's better defensively than they've been for probably the past 5, 6, 7 years, but they still give up a ton of yards on the ground, and they still give up a lot of key yards on the ground. So I just think that's another area that Oregon's going to be able to gash them.
All right, Tyson, I ask you every week. This one I obviously have a little bit more vested interest. How does Oregon lose this game?
Oregon loses this game if they get behind quickly. If Dante Moore comes out, it was so nice last week to see them come out on that first drive and be effective right away, but that's kind of been the outlier compared to what the last month or so has been. If Oregon gets behind and maybe there's a turnover and USC is able to strike quickly, they do have a good enough running game too that they can be balanced in the way that they hold a lead. So USC is dangerous. Like this is going to be a tough game. They are a top 25 team, and I think they're warranted to be. And there's a lot emotionally riding on this line, too. USC thought that they were going to be the front runners in this new Big Ten of the Pac-12 defectors. They were the first ones to announce that they were going to leave. They had Lincoln Riley. They had, what they thought was a recruiting advantage. And Oregon's kind of stolen all of that and all that momentum. And here you have this game where playoff is on the line for basically both teams. It's going to be a fun one, and there's a lot of stress with that. And Dante, while we've seen him play well in some big games, like the Penn State, that was a lot of pressure on him. I thought there was a lot of pressure on him against Iowa too. Like this one's for all the marbles here. A week before you go do that again up in Seattle.
I'll ask you this. He's Tyson Alger. He joins us, the I-5 corridor. Lookout Eugene Springfield. The department you are going to focus on most for Oregon, when you look at guys like Mekhi Lemon, who might be the best wide receiver in college football right now, are you focused on what the secondary is going to look like, or are we still living in offensive line world to get that run game going? Tell me the department you are focused on most as a giant key to a Duck victory.
I think I want to see a breakout game for Mateo Uiagalelei. He's been fine this year. I think it's been an adjustment for him this season with guys with being the guy and then kind of being focused on differently, but you just haven't seen him have one of those game record type of games that we saw him have a couple of times last year, and that made him such a heralded kind of preseason selection. USC's got such a potent attack that if you're not pressuring the quarterback or creating havoc, they're going to put points on you. So I think that's important. The secondary stuff, we know how important that is, and I'm so excited to watch what Brandon Finney does in this game matched up against some of those dudes. But I do think a key thing for Oregon is the linebackers in this game. As I said earlier, like USC's got a pretty potent rushing attack. That freshman running backs rush for 125 yards plus in 3 of the last 5 games. Like, they can move the ball on the ground, and if you can make them more one-dimensional and only rely on that passing attack, I think that's a key for Oregon to get ahead in this game.
He's Tyson Alger, the I-5 corridor. Lookout Eugene Springfield. Tyson, this is your chance. We always give you what you're writing this week. How you feeling on stuff?
I'm writing a little look back that's going to publish on Friday that kind of dives into the Oregon-USC Mario Cristobal era rivalry, where the Ducks had their whole Tally Flock hashtag, and they went to the Rose Bowl, and Mario Cristobal called it a home game for them, and just kind of see how that's evolved over the years, because I don't know if you guys saw Dan's press conference this week. They kind of talked about the importance of California and like, yeah, it's important, but everything's important. And, I don't think the guys take it any more seriously than the others. That's kind of the exact opposite way that the Ducks handled it 5-6 years ago. And I just kind of find that fascinating.
All right, you can check that out. The I-5 corridor. Lookout Eugene Springfield. He's Tyson Alger. Thanks, amigo. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the game.
Hey, thanks.
Tyson Alger. The I-5 corridor.
We can actually see him on Saturday.
Look out Eugene Springfield. Yeah, I should have told him we were going down. Say hi to him. Say what's up.
The entire studio or the entire office is going down on Saturday. So
Tell me if I'm reading the tea leaves incorrectly. He don't like USC in this game at all.
no, I actually disagree. I
Do you?
think he thinks Oregon is going to win, but I think I think most Duck fans are rightfully scared of that wide receiver room.
Yeah, for some reason I was getting a little vibe from him that was kind of like, yeah, but USC kind of sucks.
I didn't pick that up.
No, okay, maybe it's my homerism coming out.
Yeah, see, I told you, you're gonna start quacking. You're gonna get up there and shout in the freaking third quarter or going into the fourth quarter.
Well, I might dance to shout.
Yeah, I know
that
you
sounds
will.
fun.
Yeah,
I mean, I love that too.
you're gonna start wiggling and start throwing up the O, and you might as well just hand in your Cougar card.
Otis Day and the Knights, man. They also sing Shamalama Ding Dong. I love that tune. No, there will be no O's coming from my hand.
You're 100% gonna do
Oh God, no.
Yeah, you are.
I'm shocked that you think so.
You left your heart in Oregon.
I left my heart.
My younger daughter, her
In
name's Sammy.
Eugene Springfield.
We call her Samalama Ding Dong a lot.
Samalama Ding Dong.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's a good one.
If I search this whole wide world. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
See, look, already.
Otis Day and the Knights. I wish I could go to Eugene and someone would do an Otis Day and the Knights cover band. Does anybody ever do that in Eugene? I'm sure that's been thought of.
I'm sure that's probably.
I'm
been
sure
done.
it's been done.
No,
But has it been done well?
probably not. But
All right, we got a loaded hour number deuce coming up. Some college football to get to as well. Is it time for this coach to give it up? And a quarterback that might already be on the move. But let's first tie into ESPN and some personalities caught up in a little bit of bad PR and some gambling. What do we make of that? We'll do that next in a loaded hour number deuce. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
I didn't
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on The Fan. Following their 42-13 win over Minnesota, the Oregon Ducks moving up one spot in the college football playoff rankings, now number 7. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Georgia would all have first-round byes if these standings held up. Oregon hosts number 15 USC on Saturday. The Trailblazers have lost 3 straight, 6 of their last 8. They host the Bulls tonight. Before embarking on a 3-game road trip, the Blazers 6-8 on the season, 9th in the Western Conference. It's a 7 o'clock tip on 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. The Blazers are 2.5-point underdogs. ESPN has tonight's national doubleheader starting from Cleveland, 4 o'clock. The Cavaliers 1.5-point dogs hosting Kevin Durant and the Rockets. The nightcap in Dallas at 6:30. That is Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks, 7.5-point underdogs hosting the Knicks. Over in the NFL, the Falcons announced quarterback Michael Penix Jr. suffered a partially torn ACL Sunday against the Panthers. He will need season-ending surgery. When he returns, he'll be 26 and coming off his 5th season-ending injury. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski announced Shedeur Sanders will start Sunday against the Raiders. Dylan Gabriel suffered a concussion in Sunday's loss to the Ravens and remains in the league's concussion protocol. Since 1995, Browns quarterbacks making their first career start are 0-17. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, hour number 2 here, Portland Sports Leader. Happy to have you along. If you missed it in the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com. The Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. It's over on YouTube's. If you missed Lucy Burge or Yogi Roth on the Sunrise Guys this morning, you can check that out on the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, including the YouTube app or the Odyssey app. You rewind, fast forward, just not in the future. For that, well, that would be impossible. This hour, we have Web Gems at 11:45, as we always do. Give you an update on a bowl game situation as we are anxiously awaiting bad football for some reason. I do not know why this show is so excited to get bad football on our televisions. Is it because it'll be live when we're live?
Probably.
I love live sports when we're live.
It is
rarely
fun.
happens.
It is fun.
And it's usually only dudes running around kicking soccer balls.
Yep.
It's usually all it is. Although we got a little baseball, though, for a while there.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was nice.
During the Olympics, we had all kinds of stuff.
The Olympics is going to be great
yeah.
because of the time difference.
For us, it's going to be phenomenal. It's like
excellent.
prime viewing hours.
And then we'll get to a little bit of college football. But I wanted to start in this story, Danny. You found this story, and I was kind of reading more and more into it and have become very, very interested in it. ESPN has reportedly told some of their high-end talent to end their promotional messaging with Papaya Gaming. And what's hilarious about this is I didn't realize, remember when we made fun of Stephen A. Smith for playing solitaire? I can't believe that was a bit. How dumb are we for not knowing that? Because I think we just look at Stephen A. Smith and it's like, well, that guy's an idiot. Of course he's playing solitaire on the sidelines. How did we not see that coming? That it was a gambling company and he was just doing a pitch for it.
I don't buy it.
What do you mean you don't buy
I think he was legitimately playing solitaire.
And then they approached him, was
Yes.
like, hey, man, we do solitaire.
Yes.
It was just like bad AI video of it. But the promotion is tied with Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, Dan Orlovsky, Mina Kimes, and Laura Rutledge. It's a popular solitaire app facing a federal lawsuit that they tailored bots to control the outcomes of tournaments. Now, Mina Kimes, she came out and called it a colossal blank up.
Yep. Bleep.
She thought it was just typical marketing work, and I'm deeply embarrassed I didn't vet it, she wrote. And for some reason, we will give Mina Kimes all the credit in the world. I think she does a really good job at what she does. But it's just another instance of gambling walking into this world and how it can affect you and why these guys need to be so much more careful. How ESPN doesn't have kind of watchdogs on their employees is kind of wild to me.
Well, yes and no, because I mean it's different for us, but because of the platform, you would think that that is the case, but depending on what your contract is, because you and I we have contracts, we are quote unquote talent,
Contracted Odyssey employees.
and there's certain things we have negotiated in our contracts. Like for me, like I own all
Like
of,
the water station.
yeah, there you go, yes. I own all of my IP. So like Jack Ramsey's and the Patreon, stuff like that. It's stuff that's not to give everybody my personal stuff, but like that's stuff that I have in my contract. That Odyssey or K2 Sinclair, they can't tell me what I can and can't do there.
Sure.
I own that. You can't tell me what I can and can't write there. That's mine. Now when I'm on your airwaves and things like that, or if I say something salacious in there that has an impact here, that can come back around. But
Sure.
if I have a sponsorship deal or something along those lines where somebody comes in and sponsors my podcast, you can't tell me no. Like, so for ESPN, for those guys, it all depends on who their agent is and what they've negotiated. But you would think that for something like this, there would be some sort of clearinghouse that it gets run through.
Yeah, they've all got agents, to your point. Like, why is my agent not doing this work? Hey, you've been approached by Papaya, whatever they're called, to do a solitaire thing. Are you in on this? And it's like, well, you tell me, am I in on this?
Yeah.
Because then if you're not in, does that open up issues with your agent
Mm-hmm.
and your lawyers? Because look, if I'm Kendrick Perkins, I got lawyers.
Mhm.
I got a couple of them.
Look, these guys, everyone you just named in there makes millions.
Millions.
Stephen A makes millions of millions.
Millions and millions.
But the rest of these guys, they all make a couple $1 million. So, and their agents get a little cut, but you've got people that work for you. You've got marketers that run stuff through these agencies, because a lot of these guys are represented by CAA.
I don't know what that is.
Collective Artist Agency. That's one of the largest agencies in the world. And if you're on TV, like Woj, Adrian Wojnarowski was like the king of CAA.
Okay.
And if you go look at the relationships with the big power broker agents in the NBA, which he was with as well as front offices, it was weird how often those stories were coming from CAA clients. It's a lot like Clutch in the sense of like
Okay.
who holds power. CAA is the most powerful agency in the NBA. And so you have those. It's like with Schefter, he's got relationships, but Drew Rosenhaus ran the world for a while. If you're in college football, who's the college football coach's agent?
Lane made fun of him the other day. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
but I know what you're talking
for
about.
not taking not taking the money, right? I always blank on his name.
Jimmy Sexton.
Sexton, yes, thank you. He's Saban's agent. He's Kirby's agent. He's Lane Kiffin's agent. Like he's everyone's agent. Like he has all.
He
of the power.
negotiates against himself.
Yes, he has all of the power, and so, but with those kind of things, you would expect that when you're making that kind of money, that you're having people that work at those agencies that are clearing this stuff for you before they even approach you. Because there's so many people out there that are just trying to scam something.
And I think, Patrick Mahomes said something about this the other day. And I think, look, everybody deserves to make an extra buck, like take us here at the Fan, you can hear people doing different commercials for different
Yeah,
products.
we all have our ad reads.
Our ad reads and stuff like that. And definitely go get yours. But it's interesting, like, when you make that kind of money, like none of us here make anywhere near that kind of money. So we're going to take,
They clear our salaries in a day.
We're going to take the landscaping company or the roofing company or the mortgage company or whatever it is, and we'll do our due diligence and check in on that. But when you're of this size, when you're of that size, I think it is inexcusable
that you get caught up in this.
that you get caught up in this stuff. And to Patrick Mahomes' point, when he was asked about gambling in general, he was like, "Look, I just stay away from it." And I feel like if you are the Mina Kimes of the world, who has a great reputation on television, why you aren't taking the due diligence to just say, you know what, how I'm going to support my brand can't come anywhere near anything that's going on. I do not want to be a part of anything that comes close to gambling.
So I'll give you a little peek back behind the curtain. Joe Simons and I were pitching the show when NBC went away, and with one of the networks we were talking to, I had money from a very, 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 very large gambling company.
Mm-hmm.
We did not end up doing it.
Yeah.
And I am so glad that we didn't.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we didn't.
I'm really glad we don't have anything like that around here. Now I will do my job if need be, but like if somebody came and was like, "Hey, do you want to sponsor this?" I would probably pass on it. Personally, my soul's not worth that much, I guess.
It was even more than that. It was knowing what we would be tied to.
Yeah, and I wonder what the repercussions are for ESPN in the future of this. Is there an all-staff email
Well, I mean,
that goes out to all talent that kind of says, "Hey, watch your ass and don't do this"?
yeah, I mean, ESPN is put out there like, well, we weren't given the opportunity or the time to review this papaya deal, blah blah blah. The CYA, the lawyer speak that kind of goes with that stuff. So, but yeah, it comes at a very inopportune time for them because what's the day? Today's the 19th, right? So we are 5 days away from Chauncey Billups making his appearance in court in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, not to mention
Damon Jones has already made his.
Not to mention we're going DraftKings on ESPN, and ESPN Bet has gone away.
Well, it's still ESPN Bet, but it's ESPN Bet powered by DraftKings.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Brought to you by whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's also, we have the not only the Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, Terry Rozier part of that investigation. There's the other federal investigation that wrapped up the college basketball players and that gambling ring. And there's another gambling ring that was caught up in another part of college basketball, which is actually completely separate from the one that was just brought up on federal charges. Like, this is what I've been trying to tell people for a couple of years. It's going to happen, and it's going to get bad, and it's going to get messy. And, there's further articles about, the Los Angeles Lakers are caught up in gambling probe. It's like, no, there's 12 teams caught up in it.
That was a bad story. That was a bad headline.
I mean, yeah, it's clickbaity, but yeah, the NBA's they're scrambling now because they realize that, number one, they were not prepared for this. They did not do their due diligence. They did not protect accordingly. They did not react the way they needed to. And again, credit to Mina Kimes for flat out saying, my bad.
Yeah.
I screwed this up.
Yeah, I definitely like the transparency from that. I think, as the YouTube comment, clear conscience versus the bag, I get that. But when it's something like that, the bag's got to be pretty big. Because I think in today's world, I would just, and maybe this is the me in me, and this is why I kind of sit here on this show and preach why I think gambling is bad. It might be something that you just stay away from these days. I think it's coming to that head. When we woke up the morning and got the news on Chauncey Billups, that to me said, I am very glad I don't gamble.
Yeah.
I knew that instantly. Not to say does have a problem or
Yeah.
linked in with the mafia, Rob talks a lot. He taught me a lot about betting when I had no idea what was going on with it, and I greatly appreciated for the insight for asking what seemed like stupid questions. So I don't mean that, but when you see it on that grand scale, it's just kind of like, I am so
how
jazzed.
deep the water is.
Yeah, I am so jazzed that I know how to swim, but I'm not going to swim in that pool.
100%. Look, and I bet you the money for this was pretty egregious because I'm nobody. I'm absolutely nobody. And I had an ad agency. I've told this story before. I had an ad agency come to me for a tweet and an Instagram post, and the amount of money that they ended up giving me to do this made me laugh out loud. There's no way this is real. There's absolutely no way. I checked the email, went to LinkedIn, started reaching out to my agent, like, hey, is this company real? Like, there's no way they're talking
Is this
about
a Nigerian prince?
That was 100%. Like, I was looking over, like, there is absolutely no way that they are willing to give me this much money to do this.
Yeah.
And agent came back. He's like, all checks out. Sign it now. And I was like, just so you know, I found this without you. We aren't going to cut. Bye.
Thanks for doing the work. I'm out of here. Let's slide into college football. We'll head down to the SEC where it just means more down here. And I want to ask, is it time for this coach who's had himself a rough year, although somehow the College Football Playoff Committee seems to keep bailing him out in some sense. Is it time to rethink the philosophy and how things are going? We'll take you to the grand old Lone Star State. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan. Brad Evans. Is there a quarterback on the move already in college football? Kind of a big name. Probably be the prize catch. If so, we'll get to that in about 15 minutes. Then in a half hour, we'll get to Web Gems, update you on another great college bowl game. We'll slide into the big nooner. We'll head on to a little Blazer chatter, and then we'll get back into some NFL stuff and maybe a little college football playoff, closing arguments. That's kind of the day we got lined up for you. But I want to take a cruise down to the Lone Star State. The what are they in the new college football playoff poll? They are 17th, and that is the Texas Longhorns. Why they are, God knows why. I don't understand. And I had a nice little win against Vanderbilt a couple weeks ago. They beat Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Red River rivalry.
I mean,
and then they got boat raced by Georgia in the second half. More specifically, the fourth quarter. Because, well, Kirby Smart's better than you.
pretty good.
Which leads me to this question, and Danny, it's kind of fun to have these conversations when it's USC Oregon week, and especially having you on the show with your love and adoration for the USC Trojans. Sark, pretty good offensive mind, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good offensive mind.
He has his issues in the red zone and maybe get a little too cute, which I think you can say that about Lane sometimes. I think you can say that about Lincoln sometimes. I think you can say that about basically every listen to Oregon fans and how they talk about Will Stein.
Yeah. And so I'm curious, when you look at Texas and try to figure out what's gone wrong, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, I don't think the quarterback is what they expected it to be. I think you can clearly say that preseason number one ranking had everything to do with people like myself drinking the Kool-Aid of Arch Manning. So okay.
You did love you some Arch Manning.
I very much loved me some Arch Manning, and I would love to see Arch Manning maybe transfer and find a different coach to see if it's an Arch thing or if it's a Sark thing. And that's where my question goes. I do think it's an Arch issue at Texas. I do think he is not quite where, if you think Dante Moore should come back for one more year, you think Arch should come back for 3 more years.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I'm curious to your thought. Would Sark be better off giving up the play calling duties and just being a head coach?
I don't think so.
And why is that?
Because I think that's where he butters his bread. I think he is an offense. It would be like, should, insert defense, Dan Quinn. He took over the defensive game calling duties because that's his responsibility. It's who he is at his core. You just look at should Andy Reid give up his play calling duties as the Chiefs head coach?
Probably not.
No, it's just like.
But the difference is though is that Andy Reid is an all-time great coach.
But again, I think a lot of people would tell you that Sark is one of the best offensive minds in football.
But what I would also tell you in another point on that is that Dan Quinn will give up those play calling duties when he finds the right person to make those call duties.
If somebody was better than him on staff, I think he would.
And it's his job to get somebody better on staff.
Well, sometimes you don't, though. I mean, like with Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley is an incredible offensive mind, and he is so dialed in. He's a quarterback guy. He knows how to get into the head of his quarterback and get him to do the things he wants him to do. And I think it's an interesting spot. Like, take the Eagles, for example. They lose Kellen Moore. It's not always easy to go try and replace that, and you don't necessarily notice the differences. Now, we could say Kellen Moore is definitely, he is missed in Philadelphia, but also is their offensive line really banged up? Like, we don't really know how much of the pie goes to one thing or another. With Sark, he's a good play caller. He has his warts, much like Cristobal. Like every coach sans Nick Saban. It took Nick Saban 20 years to get there. Has these issues.
I guess I just like to take it from an Oregon perspective. Something I said, I don't remember what game it was. I think it was the Penn State game where I kept I don't remember what game it was, but there was a game where I kind of wanted to say, hey, Tosh Lupoi, are you the defensive coordinator? Will you show me if you're the defensive coordinator? Because I felt that defense had Lanning written all over it. And then as the year progressed, and maybe it was the Penn State game where I finally went, boom, that's Tosh Lupoi. There you go. And I wonder if it would behoove Sark. Dan is very, very involved in the defense. He's a defensive guy. He's very, very involved with Tosh Lupoi in that. I just wonder if it's come to a point at Texas that if Sark can find somebody that maybe is not the same brain that he is, but somebody that he can lean on so it can take attention off of that and give him a chance to see the bigger picture. Because I think Sark gets lost in kind of the clouds sometimes. And being too focused in one department is kind of missing out on the fact that, dude, you have one of the most talented defenses of any team in the country. and you're giving up 29 points to Florida. You're giving up 38 to Mississippi State. 31 is a little misleading against Vanderbilt because they came, crashing back after that game kind of got out of hand. But if this is supposed to be a top 5 defense, I don't see it. And maybe you're focused too much on something and not the whole thing.
Well, in that vein, shouldn't you maybe be looking at the defensive coordinator?
Sure, but maybe you're too busy being the offensive coordinator to deal with it.
Well, there's also something that kind of I think gets lost in this stuff, and
It's like Nick Saban can't go to every kid's living room and be the recruiter. So you're going to send Lane or Mario Cristobal or Ed Orgeron, fill in the blank of the guy you're going to send, because you can't always. Now, you need that 5-star quarterback. You need Devonta Smith. Yeah, he might be the guy that shows up.
You
at
send
his
the
house.
closer with the national title.
Yeah,
race.
you send the closer to go get the job done, but you rely on others to get the job done. I think it's something Sark has missed at Texas, and why Texas finds themselves in this hole. They're going to lose another game. They're going to play Texas A&M, and I'll bet you they lose that game, and that's a 4-loss Texas team who opened the season ranked number 1.
Yikes.
Something's got to change.
There has been this disconnect with Texas. Now, I think part of it is the defense hasn't showed up at times. Their talent is overwhelming, but also their wide receiver play has been subpar. And that's been something that's cropped up a couple times.
Wingo's been okay, but has not been great. He's had some great games, and he's had some MIA games.
And I think that might be part of where this is all coming from, is that part of it all. But that's the thing, man, especially in football, the delineation of duties and just how good or bad or who's responsible for what and where that all comes from, it's hard to know unless you're in the room. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
We can say, well, there was a bunch of Eagles fan accounts, blogs, and stuff like that were pointing out, well, it's clearly this, it's clearly this, it's clearly this. And I think it was Nate Tice pulled up all the numbers in the Eagles offense over the last 5 years, and they were like, they're running too many hitch routes. And he showed A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith's hitch route rate, and it's like almost identical. It's within the margin of error. It's just that the biggest issue for the Eagles this year has been that their lack of explosives and yards before contact in the running game are neutered significantly. And that means all of the other short stuff becomes, instead of throwing on 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5, you're throwing on 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between that and, having 2 more yards is night and day in the NFL. You get behind the sticks. And so these, even though it seems very marginal and seems very little, over the course of 65 plays, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think understanding the minutia of we were so quick to judge or to blame, or take the Blazers, for instance. People are mad because the Blazers got pasted by the Suns last night in that third quarter. It's they don't have a point guard. You know what I mean? It's yeah. I mean, they basically rolled out 7 or 8 healthy, consistent bodies. And so you just kind of looking at that, you always have to, it's easy to overreact and not factor in all of those things. And I think to maybe your point with Sark, his inability to manage it all, the CEO of it all, maybe that's where he struggles most.
Yeah, 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. I want to read a couple of those. Are we sure it's not a Sark thing? Quinn Ewers was one of the hottest QB prospects coming out also, and he never got close to living up to that. That's too straight. That comes from Jordan. That's too straight with Quinn Ewers and now Arch Manning. And this is what you're touching on for this other texter, and this kind of rounds out my point. We'll finish there. Maybe you're looking at it the wrong way. Maybe Sark is just a great OC and not a great head coach. Good, but never to that level he was as an OC. And my question is, maybe it's time to give up that play calling to show me if you are a head coach. Because I know you're a brilliant mind, but if you're too focused on that, you're not focused on the bigger picture.
But
and the bigger
flip
picture
side,
at Texas is not losing 4 games.
Find me a better offensive coordinator in the country than Sark. When you get that list, it's the best OCs in the country.
Well, I understand that, but they're all OCs. How many college football coaches are calling plays?
Quite a few.
On the offense.
Quite a few.
High level?
Yeah, quite a few.
2 or 3?
Not more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just not working there.
DeBoer's doing it at Bama.
Yeah, okay. That's at Alabama.
Yeah.
That's Kalen DeBoer.
Lane's doing it, or Lincoln's doing it at USC.
Lane and
doing
Lincoln,
it at Ole Miss. some of the best offenses in the country. Signetti.
But how many of those guys have natties? Not to bring this like if you don't have a natty, you can't do it.
I mean, there's only what two active right now.
But is it preventing you?
Yep, Kirby's calling plays.
It's 3 active.
So the Kirby's calling
Yeah.
plays.
I don't know. Something's got to change in Texas. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but something's got to change. There could be a change in the desert. They could be looking for a new quarterback, and that would be so sad if that were the case.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go check in on Kenny Dill and his quarterback situation. Could he really lose him? We'll get to there next. But first, the Kahuna with sports.
You ever had a big Kahuna burger?
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, following their 42-13 win over Minnesota, the Oregon Ducks move up 1 spot in the college football playoff rankings. They're now number 7. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Georgia would all have the first-round byes if the current standings hold. This weekend, Oregon hosting number 15 USC on Saturday. Over in the association, the Trailblazers have lost 3 straight, 6 of their last 8. They host the Bulls tonight before embarking on a 3-game road trip. The Blazers are 6-8 on the season, currently 9th in the Western Conference. It is a 7 o'clock tip on 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Portland are 2.5-point underdogs. ESPN has tonight's national doubleheader from Cleveland. At 4 o'clock, the Cavaliers 1.5-point dogs hosting Kevin Durant and the Rockets. The nightcap comes to us from Dallas at 6:30. Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks 7.5-point underdogs hosting the Knicks. Over in the NFL, Falcons announced quarterback Michael Penix Jr. suffered a partially torn ACL Sunday against the Panthers and will need season-ending surgery. When he returns, he'll be 26 and coming off his 5th season-ending injury. And New Orleans football reporting the Saints releasing former Beaver wide receiver Brandon Cooks in what appears to be a mutual decision. He'll become a free agent if he goes unclaimed on waivers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Web Gem's coming up here in about 15 minutes. Everybody's favorite. We'll have some fun with a bowl game, getting even spicier. Feel like these two bowl games should fight each other. That would be fun. 503-864-6326. I want to read this because I think this is something that if it comes to fruition, so help me, tiny infant baby Jesus, I will lose my GD mind. This texter says, with their ranking, I see a world where Texas somehow wins their last two games and a 3-loss team could potentially be shoehorned into the college football playoff for being quote-unquote Texas. That would mean Texas would have wins over Texas A&M, which is bound for the college football playoff, Oklahoma, who seem to be bound for the playoff, Vanderbilt, a team just on the outside looking in, and losses to maybe the two best teams in the country in Ohio State and Georgia. If that happens, I swear I will. There's nothing I can do, but I'm going to blow a gasket. That would drive me absolutely insanely crazy. This Texas team is not good.
I mean, they're good.
Sure.
They're good,
Sure.
but they got waxed by Georgia.
They're good like Virginia is good.
Nah, they're better.
They're
than that.
good.
They're good. They're a good team, but they are flawed.
Iowa is good.
They're better than Iowa.
Are they?
Yeah, they're better than Iowa.
Dude, I would love to see Iowa, Texas in a bowl game.
I think Texas would handle them pretty well.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
I'd like to see that.
Texas is good. They're in fact they're very good. They're just not great. They're not great. And that's the thing is like so much of that falls back on Arch unfairly. He's been good.
He's been a lot better.
He's been a lot better. He's gotten a lot better. But nobody wants to say, well, you know, Arch is actually doing pretty good. He's thrown for 2,400 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 picks. He's got a completion rate of 63%. Is that the best we've ever seen in the country? No. Is that underperforming all of the hype around Arch? Yes.
What wasn't going to underperform?
I mean, he had to throw for 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns this year.
And one interception, and they'd kill him for the interception.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is, if you look at the top quarterbacks in the country, there isn't a single when you know how far down you have to go to find anybody in the top 10 in passing that is a legitimate Heisman candidate, even can sniff a chance at it. How far down do you think you have to go?
15?
10.
10?
And it's the darkest of dark horses. It's Maava.
Oh, wow.
These are your top passing leaders in yards. Sawyer Robertson, Baylor. Minucci at Delaware.
Give me the North Texas kid.
Mestamaker is 5th. Darian Mensah is 4th. Joe Fagano at UConn. Caden Veltkamp at FAU. Joey Aguilar at 8, who we've just stopped talking about, which is kind of crazy.
Tennessee does Tennessee things every time.
Josh Hoover is 9th. Maava is 10th. SMU's Jennings is 11th. Hauser at ECU at 12. Ty Simpson at 13. Sayin at 15. Chambliss at Ole Miss at 16, Mendoza at 17. This is where you get into the chunk of them. You go, it's actually kind of funny. Sayin 15, Chambliss 16, Mendoza 17, Marcel Reed 18.
Bam, 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 bam.
And then Byron Brown at 22.
Well, but that's always going to be the case because most teams that are national title contenders have balanced offense.
But it is interesting that those guys are all right there. They're all within 40 yards of each other. Marcel Reed's for them for 26-32, Mendoza for 26-41, Chambliss for 26.57 and Sayin for 26.75. It is quite literally 40 yards difference between them.
And that just shows you why the Heisman is
Yeah.
You want it? Nah.
The other thing is there isn't a guy who's breaking touchdown records. You know who your touchdown leader is right now? You know.
I don't.
Mendoza.
Oh, okay.
Mendoza at 30.
Has the most touchdowns.
Has the most passing touchdowns at 20.
But where was he on the list? 17?
Yeah.
In yards?
So there's no.
That's probably some red zone efficiency. I bet you Signetti's got good red zone numbers.
Shorter fields too.
Yeah.
But you do the same thing if you go down the season leaders for wide receivers. You go down the season leaders for running backs. You've got Ahmad Hardy, the Missouri running back, Cam Cook at Jacksonville State, Ole Miss's Quan Lacey, he's a stud, and then Jeremiah Love at 4. Love and Lacey are the only two running backs you're those are complete dudes. And you look at the wide receivers, it's you get through the first two guys that are smaller school guys, and then you get Mekhi Lemon. Mm-hmm. And Lemon's having an incredible year, but he's not having the, oh my God, this is the best wide receiver I've ever seen in my life.
No, and most of his great games have been of late.
Every game.
I mean, yeah.
for
I
him
mean,
has been good.
yeah. Every game is good for him, but I feel like the attention on him hasn't been until the last couple weeks.
Yeah, people are starting to pay a little bit more attention. So there are only 3,000-yard wide receivers in the country right now. Scudero at San Jose State, Skylar Bell at UConn. So those are both those Eggett.
Yeah, there's those quarterbacks.
Yep, Eggett and Fagano, and then Mekhi Lemon at third. Like before you get down to another guy, Jeremiah Smith is ninth. He's 100 yards behind.
Yeah, but that's a weird thing that we know. We don't understand why Julian Sayin doesn't want to get Jeremiah Smith the ball.
Well, he only has 2 less catches than Mekhi Lemon.
So it's schematic then.
Yeah,
is what you're telling me.
It's kind of what they're asking for. But like you don't look up and down this. Like A&M has 2 guys, 20 and 21, with Craver and Concepcion, and those guys with Marcel Reed have been huge. But it's actually really interesting. Nobody in any metric, whether it be as a wide receiver, as a running back, as a quarterback, is separating themselves anywhere in all of this. I know we were talking about Texas, but I say all of this to highlight that this is going to sound backhanded, but college football's like the production is pretty mid right now.
Should we get rid of the Heisman Trophy then?
No, it's just I think that the talent dispersal has taken these guys that were like on these teams that had otherworldly production is because when Devonta's in college, he's got 2 other guys alongside him that are also NFL wide receivers, and his entire offensive line is going to the NFL, and his quarterback is going to the NFL,
And the one
his
behind
running
him
back
is going to win a Heisman.
is going
Yeah.
to the NFL. Now you don't have that, and that quote unquote greatness doesn't get to be so great because you can roll coverage over because you don't have to account for 2 day 1 wide receivers.
With a day 1 quarterback and 2 day 1 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
You're talking about NIL really changing the game more than we realize.
I want to see how this plays out over the next couple of years. Is this just the COVID kids are gone and guys are having to catch back up? Or is this the NIL landscape? And I think that's why.
I think this is the NIL landscape.
I do too.
I think the bell curve has come back down.
I am firmly in that position, and I want to see where it goes.
Which is why you could sit here and we could spend 3 hours debating who's the best team in college football. I don't know that answer.
I think you can pick 5 teams, and like if somebody came to me and said, "I think Ole Miss is the best team in college football," I'd argue with you.
I disagree, but I'd listen.
But you could make an argument.
I'll listen to that.
Like they've got one of the best running backs in the country. They've got one of the best quarterbacks in the country. They've got one of the best coaches in the country. Like, why couldn't they be? Why tell you this right now. Tell me why Ole Miss can't win a national title.
Will their defense give up too many points?
Okay. But it's not their defense it's will they.
Will they? Yeah.
You ask questions.
Yeah, we might live in a world. Do we think Ohio State was the best team last year?
I think they had the best accumulation of talent playing the best at the best time.
See, and that's what I mean. Like, if for my money, let's say we'll take a team that you think is the best in the country. We'll take Indiana, for example. We'll take what I think with Georgia. Okay. We now live in a world where Indiana and Georgia could easily not win the title this year, both of them.
Yes,
and
they might not end up in the title game.
It could be the Ducks.
Yeah.
It could be this Notre Dame team we're not focusing on because they lost 2 games in the beginning.
And remember, they were in the national title last year.
Correct, and it now lives in a world because of the talent disparage and the separation of everybody. It's opened the door for more chaos. Dare I say, thank God the playoffs around.
Yeah,
because if we were a 4-team,
if we were a BCS, this would be a nightmare.
BCS, yeah, I mean BCS would be Ohio State, and then Indiana would lose in the Big Ten title game, and it would be Ohio State, Georgia. That's what it'd be. That's what it would be. Now, I would love to watch that game.
Sure.
And if the playoff turns out that way, I would be get my popcorn ready. I'll make some chicken wings. Let's do this.
But let's see it on the field.
But I want to see it play out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, coming full circle back to Texas, I think Texas is a really good team. I think that the questions you have at quarterback, the consistency at the wide receiver room or lack thereof, and the consistency or lack thereof of their defense with what their talent profile is not living up to what they should be.
Agreed. Maybe we just have to get used to college football being
erratic,
being mid.
I don't mean mid as in it's not good.
I know, but being in like everyone's more even.
Yeah, anybody can win. Like we've always joked about that any given Sunday or any given Saturday kind of a situation. It is more true now. Like again,
than it probably has ever been.
Let's take the matchup this weekend. I firmly believe Oregon is going to win this game. But if USC came out there and won,
I'm not shocked.
It's not shocking, and it should shock no one. And that's not a shot at the Ducks.
I'm surprised because I think the Ducks should win, but I'm not shocked.
No, we saw South Carolina A&M this past weekend. It was like, we weren't even looking at that game.
There's a very good chance that Georgia Tech gets rolled by Georgia.
Or Haynes King goes for 600 yards and knocks them off.
And what I'm going to say is I'm not shocked if they do.
No.
They shouldn't, but I'm not shocked. What would shock me? UMass beats Alabama? That would shock me.
Anyone.
Anyone. Are they playing tonight? It's UMass tonight, isn't it? Or did they play last night?
Oh, God.
They might have played last night.
I had the Blazers game, so I wasn't able to catch prime time and see if they were gambling on that.
As much as I'm lying, I still wouldn't watch it.
No.
Yeah, they played yesterday.
Okay. They lose?
Checking.
UMass. Did you break the streak?
Damn it. My computer's not giving me love now.
Oh, no. I'm stalling by not stalling, but I'm talking over the top. But what do we got?
I don't got it.
Hold on. UMass football. November 18th. They lost 42-14.
Yeah.
To the Ohio Bobcats.
Yeah. I got a buddy who went to Ohio.
The UMass Minutemen are now 0-11. At one point in time, after the first quarter, 7-7.
Ooh, you're in it.
Problem is Ohio rattled off 14 in the second, 7 in the third, and 14 more in the fourth.
They're looking at an offer.
So if you're gonna bet UMass, I think you have to bet the first quarter cover.
Or don't bet at all because gambling's dangerous. When we come back, we'll get into Web Gems. It's everybody's favorite. An update on one of the best bowls going for us right now. 105.1 The Fan.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
No, son of a...
It's Web Gems.
What'd you do?
The firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network. 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this is Web Gems. Do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the big nooner, we'll check in on the Blazers as they fall to the Suns last night. And I've got some things to say about that. We'll touch a little bit on the NFL. This first place division team, boy, I didn't see that coming. We've talked a lot of this year about fraudulent NFL teams and their records. I got one for you. And then maybe we'll chat a little
I know where you're going with that.
We'll chat a little college football playoff. And it's funny, I'm not even there to tackle your guy. It's just more I just don't think they're very good. And we'll talk a little college football playoff because I do love the I love the what if predictions we're getting right now.
Mm.
Since I don't want to yell and scream about how I think they're stupid and why it's Tulane in the playoff and not North Texas, I have no idea. Or James Madison. I don't need to get into that. So I just sit here and daydream about these matchups because, boy, they gave me another banger this week. Gave me another banger and just like my sports pants just being like, oh, God, yeah. Oh, I want that.
Sign me up for that.
So we'll get to that in the Big Nooner, so stick around for us in the final hour. But this WebGem story is brought to you by, I don't know which one is the best bowl game because these two are in a rivalry now of who can one-up the other. But today, it's the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Nicole Auerbach with this breaking news.
Look, she is locked in on the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Shout out Nicole.
Shout out Nicole Auerbach. We're getting 6 edible mascots at this year's Pop-Tarts Bowl. 3 on Team Sprinkles and 3 on Team Swirls. Fans get to vote on which mascot team to sacrifice to quote-unquote mouth heaven at game's end. The biggest edible mascot sacrifice ever.
I do love that they're calling it a sacrifice. The first Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Mouth heaven?
There you go. When they ate the first one, they're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And he made like the triumphant return in year 2. They're like, he's back. They just, full on stone cold broke the glass and he just came out of nowhere and Undertaker did. It was great. That's when you know you've got it right. So we've got the Mayo Maniacs for Duke's Mayo. Was that what it was?
So, yeah, the Mayo Maniacs.
Yeah, you can, was it 50 spots? Something like that?
Yeah, 50 people.
50 people, and you wear an apron and bib and overalls and eat all the mayo and get double servings and
Oh God, I would vomit.
Ugh. God, I'm not a mayo guy, but lean into it. Like the Armed Forces Bowl, roll a tank out there. Fly a B-2 over. Like don't just do it to open the game. Just have a B-2 fly over during a play. Scare the crap out of everybody.
Let's see if they've got kick times for this stuff yet.
Oh, the bowl games?
The bowl games, yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of them do have kick times, but Pop-Tarts Bowl is on Saturday, December 20th at 3:30. I assume that's Eastern.
Ooh.
Hold up.
What day?
Hold up. December 27th. It's Saturday. Also later that day is the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
Love that.
The first word of the bowl game is also the same last word of the bowl game. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
It's the Snoop.
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 Snoopity Snoop.
Snoop-a-loop.
Snoopity Snoop.
I'm looking at CBS's bowl predictions right now.
Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, December 31st at 2 o'clock. We will be on the air.
Ooh.
Because that's most likely 11.
Well, there is a little trifecta here of this is some good football. December 30th and through December 31st. These are the 3 games that are in a row. Music City Bowl. Again, these are current bowl predictions. Nebraska, Tennessee.
Love it.
That's a fun little game.
I'm in.
Utah, USC.
Super in.
Penn State, Missouri.
Super in.
That's a nice little taster.
Is that a job interview for old drink?
I'm just that's a tasty little run of games there. The sacrificial lamb to Iowa, New Year's Eve, Las Vegas Bowl, Cal.
Oh, those poor guys.
I'm so sorry.
That freshman quarterback, I love that kid.
JKS.
And my Cal Bears are going to have a rough day.
Welcome to hell.
Hey, do you think this just popped into my head? Do you think I'm secretly rooting for the Cal Bears because they're the rival of my father-in-law?
Oh, the little something in there?
Subconsciously?
Yeah, just leaking in.
Oh, no.
Before that, at the Citrus Bowl, Michigan, Texas.
Sign me up for a garbage football game.
There are some good games.
That would be, I guarantee you the final score of that game is 19-16.
I mean, just scrolling through here, the Pop-Tarts Bowl, they have it as Miami, BYU.
Oh, I love that.
Sign me up.
I absolutely love Miami,
It's
BYU.
not Catholics convicts. It's Mormons convicts.
I'm absolutely into that.
That's a banger.
I'm absolutely into that.
Pittsburgh Navy for the Military Bowl.
Okay, yep.
That's a good little game.
That feels like a classic.
I like that. I'm just kind of going through these. Basically, once we get past Christmas, there are some bangers in here.
The last
Hey,
big
your Cougs currently projected in a bowl game. The New Mexico Bowl.
Take down James Madison this weekend.
The New Mexico Bowl.
We will be playing
UNLV.
Oh, Malzahn? No. That's
No.
Dan Mullen.
Yes.
Yeah.
UNLV. I
Yeah.
was thinking New Mexico State for a second. I'm like, no. Also,
Dan Mullen thinks Gus Malzahn should get hired.
Gator Bowl, Louisville, Vandy.
Sign me up.
Like I said, there are some games in here where, like, don't get me wrong, I want to see USC in the playoff, but if they're not, Utah, which scares the crap out of me, but that's a fun game.
Some of the last bowl games before we get to semifinals. What are the Holiday Bowl? What do they got for the Holiday Bowl?
Virginia, Arizona State, which has the
Ooh.
potential. Well, it has the
Oh.
potential to lose its luster.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's not playing.
I don't think
He's
so.
definitely not
Definitely
playing.
don't think so.
All right, we come back. We'll get into the big nooner. We'll head to your Portland Trailblazers as they fall to the Suns last night. They'll take on the Bulls tonight. I got feelings. I got lots of feelings. 10 toes down kind of feelings.
Ooh.
We'll get to that next. Loaded big nooner. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. Rusty over there. 105.1 The Fan.
I'm Chelsea
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on the Fan. Following their 42-13 win over Minnesota, the Oregon Ducks moving up one spot in the college football playoff rankings. They are now number 7. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Georgia would currently have first-round byes if these current standings hold. Oregon hosts number 15 USC on Saturday. The Trailblazers have lost 3 straight, 6 of their last 8. They host the Bulls tonight before embarking on a 3-game road trip. The Blazers are 6-8, currently 9th in the Western Conference. It is a 7 o'clock tip on 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. The Blazers are 2.5-point underdogs. Over in the NFL, the Falcons announced quarterback Michael Penix Jr. suffered a partially torn ACL Sunday against the Panthers. He will need season-ending surgery. When he returns, he'll be 26 and coming off his 5th season-ending injury. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski announced Shedeur Sanders will start Sunday against the Raiders. Dylan Gabriel suffered a concussion in Sunday's loss to the Ravens. He remains in the league's concussion protocol. Since 1995, Browns quarterbacks making their first career start are 0-17. And New Orleans football reporting the Saints releasing former Beaver wide receiver Brandon Cooks in what appears to be a mutual decision. He'll become a free agent if he goes unclaimed on waivers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan.
Here, Portland sports leader, the firm of Harrison Meringue. Do this show every single day, Monday through Friday from 10 to 1. Thanks for joining us. Hoping you're having a nice little Wednesday. Shout out to the YouTube crowd. Appreciate you joining us there. 503-864-6326 is the Fan text line. Coming on after us from 1 to 2, you'll get Ducks Insider. 2 to 3, you'll get the Fan Happy Hour with the great Luke Anderson. And then, baby, you know what's coming. Then is prime time from 3 to 7. Isaac and Suk take you all the way home, finishing up 13 hours of continuous live, local, regional sports talk radio. Probably catch some prime time today. Wednesdays are a good day for me to catch prime time, Wednesdays and Thursdays. But if you miss prime time live, you can always check it out on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts, including this fine little program as well. A lot to get to this hour as we'll finish her up. We'll get to the NFL a little bit as this first-place team might be the most fraudulent first-place team I've ever seen in my life.
Ooh.
And we'll wax poetic, as I like to say, about potential college football playoff matchups because they're juicy. They're juicy. They're real juicy. The Blazers lose to the Suns last night, 127-110. Do you have anything to say, Daniel, before I start being angry?
I don't think there's any reason to be angry. They are incredibly shorthanded. They had to rely on Caleb Love, who Caleb Love was really good for them last night. Gave them some offense when they needed it, but they're so shorthanded. They're so tired. They have played so many games that it hit them in the third quarter, and that game was over. It was a 36-21 third quarter. It was over.
I don't find this team very fun to watch right now.
Well, yeah, they're broken because they're injured.
And the other thing that even when they weren't broken and weren't super injured, I know there's been some injuries all along. You ever seen the movie Major League?
Mm-hmm.
You know when Willie Mays Hayes keeps popping the ball up
Mm-hmm.
and Coach Brown tells me every time you pop it up, you got to drop down and give me 10 push-ups?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel like if anybody on the Blazers shoots another three-pointer, you were going to drop and give me 10.
That's not how it works.
But that's how it's going to work from here on out.
Well,
that's why I'm the new head coach.
It's a fundamental.
Because I want to absolutely rip my brains out when I watch somebody take a three-point shot on this team.
It's a fundamental misunderstanding of basketball.
No, I understand.
No. I know what you're saying. Are you watching what teams are doing to the Blazers?
Yeah.
Defensively, what are they doing?
Forcing them to shoot.
Okay, how are they doing that?
I don't know. You tell me.
They are packing in the paint and they are zoning them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, forcing them to the outsides to force them to take deeper
The
shots.
only team that has seen more zone, and actually after last night, I bet you Portland surpassed them. I'll try to pull it up while I'm talking about this. But the Blazers were number 2 in the NBA in facing zone defense. The only team that has faced more zone defense is the Miami Heat. And you can sit here and talk about wanting to get to the rim and do all these things. But if you can't get to the rim because teams are going 2-3 against you and sagging under, gapping, playing all the lanes, and collapsing on everything, you have to shoot threes.
I understand that. You don't think I actually think they should stop shooting threes?
No. There are people that are saying that. I know what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. I'm just really frustrated that nobody on this team can shoot threes. I'm not actually saying don't shoot threes.
Yeah.
But it's becoming a real big punch in the gut when I see the offense stall out and have to settle for a three from guys that honestly can't shoot threes.
And the biggest offenders right now are Shaden and Tumani.
Tumani has been... Shaden gets a little bit of a pass because he's been so damn efficient from 2 of late. But Tumani, it's like the defenses know he can't shoot threes, and so they just let him rain. And for some reason, instead of trying to find the offense in somewhere else, he takes the shots.
He has to.
It just drives me nuts.
He has to take that shot. You get in shooting slumps and you get in hot streaks. He's just got to find his way out of it. Do I think 2 is Steph Curry? No. Do I think he's a 37% three-point shooter? Yes, I do. I think 2 is a capable three-point shooter. And sometimes this stuff happens.
I know. I just keep banging on this, and I understand your point about deep in terms of basketball terms of how people are playing the Blazers. But I will say this: I understand that 3 points are a fundamental part of the game, and I understand this is what the defense is pushing the Blazers to do. 41 3-pointers is just not okay. It's just too many.
It's not though, because you look at the Suns. The Suns took one more shot from the field, 98 to the Blazers 97.
The Suns have one of the best pure scorers in basketball.
He scored 19 last night.
Understood, but they're able. I'm going to give them a little more benefit of the doubt because they have people that can shoot that and have shown they can shoot that.
Yeah, that's not the reality though. Devin Booker and to an extent Royce O'Neal are the only proven guys on that team who can shoot. Colin Gillespie's a young guy who shot 4 of 9 from 3, and he probably will be able to shoot. Dylan Brooks was 1 of 6. Do you know who Jordan Goodwood is?
I do not.
Isaiah Livers?
I do not.
Rasheer Fleming?
Sure don't.
Ryan Dunn?
Yes.
Mark Williams, Oso Ighodaro, Nick Richards. Like, these guys aren't shooters.
Ryan Dunn. I'm thinking of the dude from Jackass.
Yes, you are. Ryan Dunn is kind of like a Tumani type of player, but not anywhere close to the caliber of defender or shooter, but in that same kind of mold. Gillespie is a guy who I think is actually going to end up being pretty damn good. He's a tough-nosed defender, and he can shoot the 3, and he can get them into their offense. But Dylan Brooks is not a consistent...
Villanova?
Yeah. Yes, Villanova. I had Marquette in my head for a second. But Royce O'Neal was 3 of 10. I think he hit his first 3 and then went 0 of 7 the rest of the game.
I think one thing that is also frustrating is even if Drew and Jeremy are back in this lineup, the 3-point woes are still a problem.
There's always going to be an issue coming into the season.
Yeah.
The 2 biggest concerns I had coming into the season is can they shoot and can they create? Those are the 2 things that they were limited on. Early in the season, when they were healthy, how could they overcome that? Getting turnovers, getting in the open court. They struggle in the half court because they lack creation and they lack shooting. Well, without Drew and Jeremy, what are their responsibilities?
There isn't much, and the lack of depth is really showing. With Jeremy out, was he sick last night?
Yeah.
With him out, that it causes all kinds of problems.
Because now
All
everybody's
kinds of
elevated in the
problems.
pecking order. And look, as much as 2 is struggling as a shooter, Shaden is an egregious offender.
Without a doubt, Shaden's 3-point shot is 100% not there. But like I said, I kind of give him a little bit of a pass because his 2 efficiency has been
It's not even just his
fantastic
2 efficiency;
of late.
it's his rim efficiency. So he finished 12 of 24 last night. He hit 1 shot outside the paint. 11 of his 12 makes are at the rim.
I don't know if I have a problem with that.
Well, what can teams do?
Well, they can pack the box and force you to push you out, and then you can't do that anymore.
And guess how many of those makes came in transition?
Yeah, probably a decent amount.
That's the thing. So it's like there's these pain points. If you don't have Drew, if you don't have Jeremy, if you don't have Tease, if you don't have Blake Wesley, not only are you losing 4 premium defenders, you're losing your 3 best steals, deflections guys who get you out in transition and get you easier opportunities so that teams can't sit there because if they turn teams over and they get this into a up-tempo game and there's more possessions and guys are getting tired and guys are getting worn out and you get these easier opportunities, now what do teams have to do? Now they're chasing. Now they're flying up and down the court. Now they can't set their defense. But if you're missing and you get and you get a rebound, and you let's say the other part about this is the Blazers aren't a great rim finishing team either. This was a problem last year. The worst shot in basketball is not a missed three. It's a missed shot at the rim. Because what happens when somebody drives the rim in the half court? Your corner spacers, they more often than not, they will flatten out. Now, sometimes at the Blazers in their offense that they run, they will lift and they will come out of the corners. There's some certain rules around those things that they do. But now you've got three guys flattened out basically across at the baseline. If you miss a shot at the rim and your big crashes, and they're one of the hardest crashing offensive rebounding teams in the league, you now have four guys that are at 90 feet. If they get the rebound, what happens? If the opponent gets the rebound, what happens? It's a run out.
Yeah.
And now guess what? Now it's a run out, and they get to come back and set their defense on you. And now you're playing against the half court again.
They got me all wet.
So if you're not a good rim finishing team, and you're not knocking down threes, and you're not getting out in transition, you are doubling down on the negatives and impacting yourself. I've seen some people say, well, maybe they need to just change up how they're playing. What, you want them to play slower? You want them to be in the half court more?
No.
They're in a very bad spot because their wiggle room just isn't there even when they're healthy. When they're healthy, their superpower is that they play with pace, they play with tenacity, they play with aggressiveness, they turn you over. When they don't have that, they don't have a counterpunch. And so that's the thing that they're really dealing with right now. And the only way you get around that right now as they're currently constructed, Shaedon, Toumani, Denny have to be very good. Very good. No.
As a collective. I'm not having fun, Danny, is what I'm trying to say.
This is what happens when
having fun.
When teams that are a little limited get injured, and the things that you can't just overcome with, quote unquote coaching. That's why I always get like, oh, they need to change the lineups, they need to do this. It's like, no, you either you have what you have. Some nights you may have more than you need, and you can pull the upset like the Dallas Mavericks did. But more often than not, when you're talking about over 82 games, you're going to lose those games.
Yeah. Fortunate for the Blazers is there's a lot of really bad teams at the bottom of the West.
I mean, on YouTube
that'll
right now,
help prop it up.
we are in game 14. Tiago Splitter's 13th game of his career as a head coach. I've cooled on Tiago fast. He's a mediocre coach at best. Why? Why are we doing this?
Well, I think
He's coached 13 games with a team that was supposed to win 36 to 38 games.
Well, I think because it was fun. I think because it was fun for a minute. Now it's not fun anymore.
They're injured. There's 82 games in a season.
They also just might not be very good.
Look, I said they would win probably 40 games if they stayed healthy.
If they're lucky.
That's under 500.
If they're lucky.
Like, I don't understand why people are so over their skis about this. It's so crazy to me. I can't grasp it. I can't.
Well, you can always count on fans being crazy. You can't count on much, but you can always also count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Blazers will take on the Bulls. We'll see how that goes. We'll report back tomorrow. But on that note, we'll slide over to the NFL. I'm looking at these wins and these losses, and this team shouldn't be in first place. Don't worry. They'll have time to prove it. Or prove that they're not. Or prove that they are not. They're not what we not they not. 105.1 The Fan.
The
We can dream about college football matchups here in a second as the playoff announced their updated bracket. Spicy games on that bracket. Real spicy games.
There's some fun ones.
I feel like every week they're going to give me awesome stuff, and then the ones they actually give me, I'm going to absolutely hate.
You go womp, womp, womp.
Yeah. Don't do it to me, guys. Don't do it to me. We'll get to that in about 15 minutes. But I want to take a little peek into the NFL as we've kind of been soft on the NFL today. I'm sure we'll ramp up some more tomorrow. There is a division leader right now. They are 7-3. Their wins. We're gonna do this blind for you to tell me if you think this team is really good. Their wins are the Cowboys, the Raiders, no Jaden Daniels Commanders, the Saints, the Bengals, the Giants, the Vikings.
Okay.
Their losses are the Vikings, the Lions, and the Ravens.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Chicago Bears. There is nothing I have seen in the watching of the Chicago Bears this year that my opinion has said that's a really good team. And this isn't me poo-pooing on Caleb, which
No.
I sometimes like to do. But they were in a dogfight with a Giants squad before Jackson Dart goes out. And if Jackson Dart doesn't go out, I think the Giants win that game.
So there's always in the NFL, there's the schedule and there's the miracle luck. Last year you had the Commanders with the schedule and the miracle
All the way
luck.
to the NFC title game.
The one-score games, as the Bears have seemingly just found a way to win their one-score games. Do you know what the Bears' point differential is this season at 7-3?
I'm going to go with -6.
You saw it.
No, I didn't.
It is
that
-6.
really it?
Yeah.
Boom! Yay!
Check
Go
out the
me.
big brain on Brad.
There are two teams in the NFL with a winning record and a negative point differential.
Ooh, I'll play this game with you right now. Number 1 is the Bears.
The Bears.
Number 2 is...
Think of a really bad team that has no business having a winning record.
the Carolina Panthers.
Indeed. To
I
put
was
this,
going to say the Jags, but I was like, nah, they put up a lot of points on old Herbie this last weekend.
the Carolina Panthers are 6-5. They have a -42
Whoa.
point differential.
Whoa.
For
Whoa.
perspective's sake,
That's worse than Cleveland Guardians baseball.
the Atlanta Falcons are -44 at 3-7.
That's what
The
their
Commanders
record
at
should
3-8 are a -60. The Miami Dolphins at 4-7 are a -43. So if you want to talk fraudulent, there you go. The San Francisco 49ers are +9. The Dallas Cowboys are +3.
Well, the 49ers, what I will give, and we've had this conversation before, the 49ers I give a little pass in here because I think they're a damn well-coached team.
Yes, they are.
I don't know if Ben Johnson's the answer. I don't know if what's-his-butt in Carolina is the answer. You know, I don't know that yet, but I know that Shanahan is a good coach.
Do we think
So the Niners don't bother me too much.
Dan Quinn a good coach?
I don't know that.
I think he's a good coach.
I think he's a great defensive mind.
I think he's a good coach, though.
I
Great
don't-
coach?
I don't
Probably
know if
not,
I
but good coach.
28-3 stuck in my head.
For sure, that's going to linger.
Um,
But it should linger for Shanahan, too.
Here's the Bears finishing out schedule.
Mhm.
Steelers, you find me the wins.
Okay.
Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, Niners, Lions.
I'll give him 4 wins.
4 wins in there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're a lot gracious. A lot more gracious than I am.
Well, the Steelers are all over the place.
11 wins will get you into the playoffs.
Yeah, the Steelers are all over the place.
Sure.
Browns for sure.
Yep.
I shouldn't say for sure because it's a really good defense.
Shador.
Yeah, Shador. Packers. I don't trust them at all.
And they get him twice.
Yeah, they'll get one of those. They'll get one of those 2 games. So that's 3, and then there's a coin toss game in there.
Niners, your coin toss game?
I think so.
Eagles is a nooner on Prime. That must be a Thanksgiving game.
Mm.
Sunday
And then
night.
Philly plays
Sunday
bad weather
night,
games too. So
Sunday night football at the Niners
oh, it's that's
after Christmas.
okay. That's at the Niners.
At the Eagles, home against the Steelers, home against the Browns, Packers home and away,
So
and the Lions at home.
which Goff does not play well in bad weather.
Sure doesn't.
And there's a pretty good chance it's going to be bad weather in Chicago that time of year.
I don't know what it is, man.
They could very easily be a 10-win team, and if something goes their way, 11 wins.
I think I wanted more out of their like offensive weapon projects that they have. Like, I want more from Odunze. I want more from Loveland. Even though Loveland's been really good, I want more from him. I want.
Okay. To that point.
Also, I'm not sold on Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Had to come out at some point.
To that point, for the offense that you're not sold on, do you know where they rank in yards per game?
No, I don't.
They are the number 4 offense in yards per game.
And did you
in
see,
the NFL?
Did you hear the names of teams that I told you they played?
Mhm.
It's an inflated stat.
Okay. And what do teams do when they play bad teams?
You're supposed to win.
Okay. Do you know where the Bears rank in scoring offense?
I do not.
8th. When was the last time you remember the Bears being top 10 in scoring offense?
Never.
I'd say Ben Johnson's working.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd say Ben Johnson's working. Here's the thing about it. This is year 1. Let's see what it looks like in year 2. Let's see what it looks like in year 3. I would say right now, they're doing pretty damn good. If anything for the Bears that has underperformed, it's been their defense. So when I look at that team, I go, coming into this season, that Bears defense is supposed to give them, quite a bit of leeway. Do you know where the defense ranks in yards per game against that rough schedule?
I don't.
Let's see, 28, 26, 24th. No, excuse me, not 24th. 32. So 30, 28, 26th. They're 26th in yards per game. In points per game, they are worse than my Raiders.
That's not good, dude.
These are the teams that are worse defensively, points per game, in the NFL. Bengals dead last. The Cowboys, Titans, Giants, Commanders, Jets. Then the Bears.
All those teams are poo-poo.
So if anyone has underperformed, it has been that Bears defense. If you're talking about that soft schedule and the things that they're supposed to do, there you go.
I think a lot of it, too, is just looking around the NFC North and kind of how chaotic we thought it could be, and it's become very
Yeah.
The Lions, I don't know who they are week to week. The Packers, they've got
I don't
issues.
trust them.
They've got issues.
Vikings don't have a quarterback.
Number 9 is not number 9. Maybe the Bears are the least dysfunctional.
Which, if I had told you that at the beginning of the season.
There are Bear fans out there that are like, that guy's lying. Did that guy on the radio just say the Bears are the least dysfunctional in the North? That guy's lying.
So they're finding a way to win one-score games. And now a lot of that comes down to luck, the same way I talk about with the NBA. Having the ball at the right time and being in the right position. But like all things, you can manufacture some of your luck.
All right, let's slide over back into college football. I want to have some fun with these potential matchups that we have as the College Football Playoff Committee came out. We'll walk through that a little bit and dream about matchups and how great they could be. Maybe we could have a little fun with what they'll actually give us and why we'll be really, really sad. We'll do that next. But first, the Big Kahuna with sports.
That's that Hawaiian burger joint.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Laurelhurst Market, Steakhouse, and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan, following their 42-13 win over Minnesota, the Oregon Ducks move up one spot in the most recent college football playoff rankings. They are now number 7. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Georgia would be your current first-round buys. Coming up this weekend, Oregon hosts number 15, USC. Over in the association, the Trailblazers have lost 3 straight and 6 of their last 8. They host the Bulls tonight before embarking on a 3-game road trip. Blazers are 6-8 on the season, 9th in the Western Conference. It is a 7 o'clock tip tonight on 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. The Blazers are 3.5-point dogs. In the National Football League, Falcons announced quarterback Michael Penix Jr. suffered a partially torn ACL Sunday against the Panthers. He will need season-ending surgery. When he returns, he'll be 26th and coming off his 5th season-ending injury. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski announcing Shedeur Sanders will start Sunday against the Raiders. Dylan Gabriel suffered a concussion in Sunday's loss to the Ravens. He remains in the league's concussion protocol. Since 1995, Browns quarterbacks making their first career start are 0-17. And New Orleans football reporting the Saints releasing former Beaver receiver Brandon Cooks in what appears to be a mutual decision. He'll become a free agent if he goes unclaimed on waivers. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday morning 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 a.m.
Closing arguments next. Call it a day and send you on your merry way. But we'll slide back into some college football. I have a lot of fun with this. As much as the committee pisses me off, and I don't understand things like why Tulane is in this, but not James Madison or North Texas. I have no idea. That stuff kind of frustrates me a lot. And instead of looking at that, I try to look at fun matchups and just think about, You know, I don't think anybody ever thought Tennessee would be going to Ohio State. You know, like that's stuff that just kind of doesn't really happen. A power football team going to the blue turf in Boise? Like that's stuff that doesn't usually happen.
That's the thing that I dreamed up. It was like, what if Boise State hosts a home game?
Against Notre Dame.
No. Florida. Make Florida go to Boise State in December.
Sounds wonderful.
It's like, welcome to Thunderdome.
Well, and the gods this week in the Week 13 college football playoff bracket have done that for us. These are your matchups. Tulane at Texas Tech.
Which,
okay, whatever.
Okay.
But I don't know where I sit on Texas Tech. So I kind of like the G5 playing Texas Tech. I do. I think that would be kind of cool because I don't really know. Are they the best team money can buy? Is that why they're this good this fast?
Sure.
So I'm down to watch that.
It would also lead towards Tech, Georgia, which...
Tech, Georgia. Ooh, buckle up.
Sign me up for that.
Buckle up. Oklahoma, who jumps in after their big win over Alabama on the weekend, jumps in to take on Notre Dame. Boomer Soonerland.
I hate Notre Dame with a fiery passion of 1,000 suns. I think Notre Dame dog walks Oklahoma.
I think so too.
Like I think of all of the games on this potential slate, Tech Tulane notwithstanding, I think Notre Dame beats the living crap out of Oklahoma.
Well, outside of G5, I think you and I are both in agreement that if this is it and it kind of is trending this way, Oklahoma will be the worst team. That's in.
Yeah, I think so. I think Notre Dame's a better team than Oklahoma.
I think they are too. Your other matchup, boy.
Oh, that bottom of the bracket is
baby.
juicy.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. The U at Ole Miss. Oh, I like that.
I like that.
Oh, I like that.
Wear them powder blues.
I like that a lot.
Wear them powder blues.
What's Mississippi like in December? Probably hot and muggy like it always is.
Well, it's you get some rain down there. A little swampy, but yeah. I mean, Miami's used to it.
I would love to see Cristobal go up against
Lane?
Just an SEC team in general. You know, just to kind of see how he hangs with that.
I mean, they got dudes in the trenches. I'm not worried about that.
They do. That D line is nice, but you know,
that Ole Miss offense.
I'll take Ole Miss in that game for sure for funsies. And then you know, everybody writes the sign. Everybody's said it at some point in their life. At Autzen Stadium, my friends, you would host Alabama. And the biggest question that I would have going into that game is who's the head coach of Alabama?
Yeah, has Dan Lanning solved that problem?
Who was it that I heard coin the phrase 0-4 against DeBoer? If the Ducks were to play Kalen DeBoer. I don't know who I would take in that game. But every Duck fan in the world better find yourself a way to get into Autzen. That Bama team will travel. You guys better go to that game. Everybody always loves to say we want Bama. They write the signs at game day, and everybody said, "Well, this would be your chance.
You want it until you get it.
You want it until you get it."
That'd be an interesting game because Bama, not a great run team. Not a great run team.
No, they can't run the ball.
No.
It's like a huge problem.
Yeah,
for
their
them.
offensive line isn't quite as good, and without Jam Miller, they don't have a dude back there. But in the battle of the quarterbacks, if you're talking about college quarterbacks, give me Ty over Dante.
Yeah. I think Oregon running game would do well against Alabama. I do.
Define well.
Not needing Dante to bail them out.
I think they would very much need Dante to bail them out.
And you like Ty Simpson over Dante Moore.
In college, yes. As an NFL prospect, no. I like Dante Moore. Like, who's better right now? Ty Simpson.
It feels like just trying to look at some trends of the college football playoff committee. It feels like they really, really want. I think the Alabama loss really hurt them.
Oh yeah,
because they wanted Alabama Georgia.
And
they have no way to justify Alabama Georgia.
I don't like this shakeup. I would almost rather. No, you can't do that because it's SEC. I don't like the Oregon Indiana matchup. I don't want that in the second round.
That's what I was going to say. It feels like they're pushing towards that. And Ole Miss and Texas A&M aren't going to play each other. Won't play each other in the SEC title game. Didn't play each other in the regular season. It still feels very, what's the word I want to say, rigged. I mean, we saw it last year. Oregon had no business getting Ohio State in the second round. No business. But it was like, Ohio State already lost to them.
Yeah.
Let's see this again.
I of all of the potential second round matchups, that's the one I like the least. A&M Ole Miss, veins. Here. Put them in. Tap it. Go for it.
Notre Dame, Ohio State, repeat.
Yeah.
Run it back.
That's a run it back. Hey,
Run it back.
give Notre Dame a chance at their lick back.
I'll run it back.
I'm all
again.
about that.
I'll run
and
it
then
back.
Tech Georgia, all about that.
I have no idea what's going on there.
I'm all about that game.
I have no idea
Indiana
what's
Oregon
going
game with local ties notwithstanding is the game that I'm least interested in.
Do you
Of
think
those potential
You think it would go down the same?
I think so. I think Indiana's the best team in the country.
And I'm a Georgia kid.
How much would that suck for Oregon, though, if they go into a week 2 matchup in the college football playoff, they end up playing the best team in the country 2 years in a row?
Yeah, especially if they were to get by a team like Alabama.
Mhm.
Like, damn, we just beat Bama
So
and Caleb DeBoer.
if this held true, Oregon's path, if the higher seed won, if just we went chalk. Let's say Oregon beats Bama, they would have to beat number 2 Indiana and then the winner of A&M Ole Miss to get to the title game.
I like that chance if I'm an Oregon fan, if you can get past Indiana. We've talked to Oregon Ole Miss. That's a wild game. That's a wild matchup.
Oregon A&M?
I mean, which A&M defense is going to come to play?
Well, the one that doesn't have to deal with their team turning the ball over 3 times in the first half.
Or cops shoulder checking them?
Yes. That probably had something to do with it. But I think A&M's legit.
Oh, I do
I-
too.
I-
I don't mean to poo-poo A&M by any means. I guess just trying to think about these matchups.
I mean,
just having a lot of fun
for
with
being the 7 seed, that is a brutal path to go through. Now, on the flip side, if they were in the top of the bracket, let's say they somehow bumped up to 5 and they got the group of 5 matchup, they'd have to go through Georgia and Ohio State.
it. That's not fun.
So, no matter how you feel, I do think those are the 4 best teams in the country right now: Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Georgia. I would put them in a different order. But do you feel comfortable that those are the 4 best teams in the country?
I think so.
Who is your argument for being in the top 4 now, outside of them? Because I can't see an argument. If you wanted to tell me Tech, no, I can't get there.
No.
Those are the 4 best teams in the country. For me.
No, I don't think I can get there. I think it's just because I get a little wishy-washy on Texas A&M. The last week kind of got me scared a little bit.
But that's what happens to teams.
Yeah.
Indiana had it with Penn State.
I do like them, but it's like I look at Indiana and they'll punch you in the face.
Mhm.
I look at Ohio State, they've got talent for days.
Mhm.
I look at Georgia and it's like if you aren't up by 30 in the fourth quarter, you're going to lose.
Mhm.
And I don't know what about Texas A&M I have to say, other than they're really good.
Yeah.
But like each one of those teams, I kind of gave you a brand, and I don't know what their brand is.
I think A&M's brand is number 1. They have one of the better quarterbacks in the country.
Agreed.
And Marcel
I like
Reed.
Marcel Reed a lot.
They've got skill position players everywhere. Like I said, they have 2 of the top 20 wide receivers in the country. So again, when we talk about wide receiver rooms in the country, I said USC, Ohio State, A&M, and what was the other team that I said? There was a 4th team that I mentioned.
Oregon,
They weren't there, not in the top end.
although I like the depth showing.
I like the depth at Oregon, but the top end wide receivers. Oh, Indiana, that was the 4th. Those
yeah.
are the 4 best
Cooper.
wide. You've got Cooper and Surratt. Yeah, those are the 4 best top end wide receiver rooms in the country. And A&M's got a great defense.
I'm here for it.
So, barring any substantial upsets in conference title games, and even then, I don't think it's number 1. It's not supposed to impact college football playoff, but also, I don't think unless something wild happens, you're going to see anything change in the top 4. Do you?
No, I don't think so either. If Indiana gets bumped to 3 because they lose to Ohio State, I'm not going to be jazzed. So you're telling me that, let's say, Georgia beats. Oh, Georgia won't play in the A&M in the title game. It's Alabama. A&M wins. Georgia doesn't play. Ohio State wins. It's still 1, 2, 3, 4 like that.
So your big games this week, like what should be big games on paper at least, right?
Wazoo at James Madison.
No,
It is their season.
it is. But USC Oregon, obviously, that's a college football play-in or playoff play-in game essentially.
Certainly.
Missouri Oklahoma.
Oklahoma better win that game.
Oklahoma gets out. That's how Oregon gets in at 10-2 if USC wins. Oklahoma falls out.
Yeah, because I think also what we're learning is if you are a 2-loss team in the SEC, you are in. If you are a 2-loss team anywhere else, you are not guaranteed.
You're praying to the gods, and so you want some disruption.
Because you got Utah, Miami. I mean, I guess Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt doesn't have the benefit of being an SEC blood. If Tennessee had 2 losses, they'd be in.
Probably.
They'd be in.
So
Probably push like Notre Dame out.
So those are your big on paper games this week.
All right, when we come back, we'll wrap this bad boy up. Closing arguments is next. 105.1 The Fan.
The firm of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day,
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. We'll send you on your merry way. Hang out with us for closing arguments here. Coming up on tomorrow's program.
So flustered.
So flustered. I have no idea what's going on right now. I feel very deer in headlightsy. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we'll have 10 Toes Down at 12:15, as we always do. So get ready for that. NFL quarterbacks and their actual value. I'd like to have a fun little conversation about, it's an extremely important position. And are we overhyping guys because of the value of it? And we did miss out on a story from today that will tie over tomorrow, and that is Levitt on the move from Arizona State.
Drove a Chevy to the Levitt.
Any outstanding debts we have on today's program?
I don't think so. Dirt and I got to come up with our bet though. We got to talk that through.
Rusty, what do you think these guys should gamble on?
Oh, for the old USC Oregon tilt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that I will be in attendance of.
Yeah.
Not you. We.
I'm not going with you.
No, but we will be in the same stadium, along with
In the same city.
The majority of people in this building will be down there, I believe.
I mean, are we just talking like a sandwich bet, or do we want something with some juice?
Like I always want juice. I'm always about it.
I mean, do we just do the standard? You got to wear the other guy's gear.
Or face paint is on there too.
Ooh, that's a good one. Got to support the team.
Yeah, and it's not just like a little drawing. Like if I lose,
full
I'm
on
not,
face paint.
I'm not doing like a little U of O.
Like that Blue Man Group.
That'd be really
Yeah.
cute, like a temporary tattoo on your
Yeah.
cheek.
Yeah, no.
Like
We're
the
talking
like the
I was gonna
cheerleaders.
say,
wear.
Danny, like one of the
Yeah.
cheerleaders.
Yes.
That's
No.
it. That's it. You got to dress up like the other team's cheerleader.
Ooh.
Boom.
An SC cheerleader or a Duck cheerleader.
Look,
Boom.
ours look better.
Wow.
Not the women. I'm talking the style and grace.
I did not expect you to go that
It's more,
route.
it's more traditional.
The red and yellow and white.
Red.
I don't know. What are you? Maroon?
Crimson.
Cardinal.
He looks at me like, good God, you
Unbelievable.
son of.
Red. Cardinal and gold.
Okay.
God.
Cardinal and
I didn't
gold.
realize cardinal was an actual color.
It is, dude.
Like I know it's a bird.
That's why Stanford is their mascot is a color,
Mhm.
not
A tree.
bird
No, it's
or a tree.
It's a tree.
Well, the tree is there, but
tree
they
is
are the
technically their
Stanford
mascot.
Cardinal.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
See?
Sure.
It's not maroon. It's not crimson. It's
Whatever you
cardinal.
guys say.
I am crimson. Did you just make me say that with a P?
Mm.
Crimson. You said like crimson.
Did I say crimson?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like Ty Simpson.
There you go. Not on purpose. I have words for a living. You would know it.
You know, it's real funny too. All these colors are such random anomalies
Mhm.
because when I see Bama gear,
Mhm.
they are literally the Crimson Tide.
Mhm.
I'm like, that crimson don't look like my crimson
Mm.
because we're crimson and gray.
I think they look the same to me.
They don't to me. Theirs is deeper, darker.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because if you put a USC jersey down to a Washington State jersey or next to an Alabama jersey, it's very clearly different. It's not like it's the same. It's a red tone, but it's not even like when you see them up, you're like, oh, that's completely different.
Is USC Cardinal a different color than Stanford Cardinal?
I don't think so. They look very similar next to each other, but obviously they're not wearing. If anything, I would say Stanford's is maybe a hue darker. But maybe it's because they wear white helmets and the contrast of it does that.
So we have two different cardinal colors.
Again, it could.
I just told you we have two different crimsons, dude. Alabama's not my
dumb.
crimson.
It could be a different. Again, with the helmet color, it could cause that contrast to pop up.
Bama crimson has more brown in it than Wazoo, according to
Okay,
Rufio.
there you
See?
go.
Yeah, there you go. It's different.
Then why is it crimson and not brown crimson or brimson?
I don't know.
See, that's what it is. When I say that S on the crimson, it's not
It's crimp.
it's not
It's like
crimp.
crimp.
It's when I say the S. Yeah, a
Crimson.
crimp. I don't like hard. I don't like drop the M. It goes straight into the S. So it's the crimson. Crimson. See.
This texter would prefer not to see those two in cheerleader outfits. I don't know, man.
Mm.
I don't know.
Hey, look, we don't body shame here. There could be a thicker cheerleader out there.
This texter brings up a point of I think Oregon would be happy to play Ohio State, Georgia, or Indiana again. As a Duck fan, I want the chance of either of those teams may not win, but I want the rematch. And maybe that is a great point if you're Oregon. There is some sort of, if you win your first round game, unless you get Texas A&M, there is some sort of like redemption angle you can play.
Sure.
Ohio State from last year, Indiana this year.
Mhm.
Dan Lanning's first game. He's coming for Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming for Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would go well.
Yeah, I don't think it would go well. No.
Were you just waiting for me to stop talking so you can say, I don't think that's going to go well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oregon's good. They're very good. They're not
Very
great. They're not one of those top 4 teams in my opinion.
I don't know who's great, though. Oregon could win a natty, though.
I'm very convinced that Indiana is great.
Are you guys in reds or whites this weekend?
I haven't seen the uniform combo. I don't know what the Ducks are doing. They always do something weird.
Or Oregon gets to choose. It's not
Yeah.
like home or white, away we're
Well, that's what I'm
colors.
saying. Like,
we do whatever we want.
We find out on Wednesdays, right? Wednesdays when Oregon announces their jerseys. So, Oregon could do something weird. They could wear their whites if they wanted to. I mean, Oregon does all kinds of stuff.
I like the whites they wore last week.
To be honest, let's
Got
go
a
back.
little old Donald-y.
Let's go Pac-12 Classic. Ducks, wear your green and yellow.
Give me Joey Harrington green.
Throw it back. Go to your green and yellow.
That'd be fun.
I'm down with that.
I could dig that a lot.
Yeah.
I could dig that a lot.
Get a little classic Pac-12, Pac-10 going on.
Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. That'll do it for us. We'll send you over to Ducks Insider, and we'll catch you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. For Danny Meringue, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.